Welcome, reporting to you live from Zoom. You are listening to the podcast Chais and Chisme, brought to you by the world of Feriela.
I'm Jennifer, aka Fed, reporting live from the Pink Palace.
And I'm Daniela, aka Ella, reporting to you live from the Sirena Oasis. I know I'm going to address the first elephant in the room in case any of y'all are actually here for this specific reason. Daniela, you clickbaited us. Your hair is still red. Yeah, I fucking know. I know. I got way too busy over the weekend. You see, guys, I'm a workaholic. I have this problem. I'm working on it because being a workaholic is a problem. So if you don't think being a workaholic is an addiction, maybe ask yourself a few more questions. I'm working on it. Anywho, I overbooked the crap out of myself. I did not budget my time right, and I didn't have time. So I'm actually going to do it today after this. Fingers crossed on that. If you see my hair still red on the next one, it just doesn't make sense to me, but
if your hair is red on the next one, then it's too late. No, I'm just kidding. No, if their hair is still red, then honestly, that just means y'all have to keep watching them to see when the hair changes. That just gives you more of a reason to follow us along on all of our episodes. So when is the episode that Daniela is going to change her hair color? So yeah. That's definitely gives you an excuse. Leave in the comments below if you think in the next episode the hair color will be new already, or will it be the same?
Better be, because also, as y'all know, this is part 2 of Daniela's delights, Daniela's favorite topics. Really excited about that, but it is also in real time for us because we're pre-recording these ahead of time so that I can enjoy my birth week. It's February 1st, which means it's day one. It's day one till birth week. For you guys, this one's coming out the day before my birthday. But for us, we are 11 days away from 27.
That is so close. I can't believe it's already February.
I know, right? Guys, Bae, did January not feel like 5 years to you? January was
It felt really, really long. You know what it is, though? In my brain, I always feel that December and January kind of merge together because the year changes and the month changes right overnight. So they feel like they're just one big giant month. But
also, like, isn't December so fast, though? For me,
True.
December always feels really fast. It's like okay, it's like we're speeding and then the cops came, so we slow the fuck.
Yeah. I think so, because definitely with like I said, in December, at some point when the year changes and the month also changes, I get people joke about how, like, oh, I have a hard time remembering to, like, write the date down and stuff. It's not just that for me. I have a hard time remembering that we're in a whole new month and that it's already the next year. It's January already. So I'm like, oh my God. And it's a weird time warp thing in my brain that happens in December, January. So yeah, it feels like it felt really long. But I think we were talking about this yesterday about the months following. I feel like February, March, April go really fast.
Oh yeah, so fast.
Yeah.
We get to June and then we have, it's not like a slowdown, but it's, well, yeah, it is. It's a little slower in the sense that you have this like moment of bliss because summer. But from, like, you're right, from February to like May, it's just like,
yep.
The days just like go, which is like, in the sense of like this pandemic, it's kind of exciting because it's like, all right, so we're gonna be out of this sooner. But because like the fall for me felt so long. It felt so long. I love the fall too. I had not the best time mentally, but like I remember whenever I think about the fall, I'm just like, I always think like it was so long ago when it wasn't that long ago actually.
Yeah, because it's like same. I definitely like, I love the fact that the fall feels long, but it definitely felt long. Like from the September to like November feels so long, which I love. But yes, whenever it's like, I've always noticed when I was in school, February, whatever, February, March, April, my head was like, wait, what's next month? March, April used to go by so fast, and I used to be so stressed. I was always so stressed during those months because I used to feel like finals were around the corner at every given minute, like during the semester. So I normally disliked spring semester for this reason. Yeah, but
yeah, the spring can be pretty stressful. Also, like when you forgot March, my brain just went like, where's the lie at though? Like when you think about the calendar months, like I'd be forgetting about March sometimes, which makes me feel
I forget about March and May. I think it's an M thing. Because I'm like, I forget about March and May a lot.
I don't ever forget about May because it just means that like school's almost over, the summer is almost here. I feel like May is when, like, as an extrovert, that's when like the sun really starts to come forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I can start going to the beach. I can go do this. I can have peaks. Whereas March is still kind of rainy. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
also
March is
January
very
is kind of
rainy.
rainy, which bums me out.
Yeah, I know your birth month, but February has the Valentine's Day decorations, which I love.
Hmm.
I love how cute everything pink and frilly and like I love the color scheme of Valentine's Day.
Hmm.
So like I've always talked about this about how like my favorite holiday, reigns supreme will definitely be Halloween because it's
Hmm.
like during my birth month. But you have my other, favorite holiday, which is Valentine's Day, and it's not because of the whole lovey-dovey aspect. I just love the color scheme. I love the
Which
pink and the white, the red. Yeah.
which I love that you brought up because
Mhm.
when this video goes out, we will be right before Valentine's Day. Right before Valentine's Day. So the
Yay!
topic that I picked for today, I picked because Valentine's Day is around the corner. We are going to be doing
Mhm.
today, we're going to be talking about friendship in a different way. We're going to be doing a friendship quiz. We're going to be doing a friendship quiz, which we will get to in a moment. But, because, in Spanish, they say like El Día de San Valentín, Valentine's Day, es el Día
Mhm.
del Amor y la Amistad. It's the day of love and friendship. That
Mhm.
gets so lost here in the United States. And here in the United States, it's all about romance,
Mhm.
and it's the holiday that single people hate. Single people hate this holiday. They're always so sad. They're always so
Mhm.
bitter, which I understand because the way that this country puts out this holiday, it just makes you it makes you seem like if you're not in a relationship, you're not a successful person. You're not a
Mhm.
successful adult, and you don't need romantic love to feel love and to also be a successful person. But before I jump into all of that, because I can go on and on and on and on,
Mhm.
how is your weekend?
My weekend was great, actually.
Mhm.
I actually had a great time during the weekend. I okay, so Saturday was more of my chill day, but
Nice.
here was the monumental thing about Saturday. Guys, I got to play Animal Crossing on my brother's Switch. I was so happy. Okay. Anyone who has known me, especially at the beginning of like the panty, everybody got Animal Crossing. And I was like, I want Animal Crossing. It looks so cute. And I was over here seeing everybody talk about Animal Crossing and just sad. I was so sad because I didn't even have a Switch. I was like, I don't even have a Switch to buy Animal Crossing for. And I was just so sad. Everything was so cute. All the videos I saw on YouTube were about Animal Crossing. Like, oh, watch me dress up like my Animal Crossing character. And then people were posting about them, and my friends all had them, and it felt like everybody had Animal Crossing. Well, finally, Saturday was the day. It was the day. And so I finally was able, my brother got a Switch. I was finally able to get Animal Crossing. And honestly, I was so happy. Part of me, okay, I had this moment too. I don't know if you do this right before. I love the ASMR that's happening with the crunching. If you guys are listening, I mean, you guys, if you're listening to the podcast, you guys heard of the crunching. I don't even mind if you were distracted by that because that was so nice. The ASMR coming from that was so nice.
For those of you who are listening to the podcast, the reason I giggled was not her calling me out on the ASMR. I was giggling because
Mhm.
she stopped me at the ugliest bite, and some of my toast, I'm having avocado toast, some of my toast was sticking straight out of my mouth. I looked ridiculous. I was like, of all the times to yeah, guys, so moving forward, Chais and Chisme will be a partial mukbang by Daniela, where she has breakfast. Because we always take so long to record these sometimes, and I end up having breakfast. Normally we record these on Fridays, and then I don't have that
Mhm.
much time to eat, and I go straight into therapy, and I don't eat until 4 sometimes. And we all know that's not great. So I've tried to make a
Yeah.
habit of bringing my breakfast to Chais and Chisme now because I'm like, you know what? Y'all are gonna deal with it because I'm gonna try to stay on my health kick.
I try to eat beforehand usually because I'm too distracted. I
Mhm.
cannot eat and talk at the same time. So it's so hard for me to do that. So, but usually,
That's
yes.
all I know how to do. I get yelled at all the
Nu-
time for talking when I'm eating.
Nutrition is very important, guys. So also, if you haven't had breakfast, go grab the breakfast. Eat with us. Eat with Daniela. Eat with us. I'm the one. I'm just drinking tea. But point is, yeah, like eat with Daniela, and have breakfast with us while we talk. Just pretend that I'm over here eating something too. But I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, Animal Crossing.
Yes, sorry.
Animal Crossing.
See,
Animal Crossing. So I was so excited. I had this moment right before I started playing that when I was waiting for the game to load that I was like, okay, what if I've just been building it up in my head this entire time? And what if like as soon as I play it, it's underwhelming, and I'm bummed out. And I thought about it, and I was like, and I was like, no. And then, okay, actually, it was not underwhelming. I can see, okay, people always are like, I do all my socializing on Animal Crossing. No, guys, I do my introverting on Animal Crossing. I was alone. Like, if all of my tasks were like, oh, go talk to your neighbors, go da da da. You have to talk to them daily. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I gotta talk to these people daily. I was like, and I like to like pick my little house, little like the tent area where to set it up. I picked the farthest place I could, away from all the other characters, away from the little. They have this little main area where you go to get stuff, like sell things and buy things. Yeah, and I picked the furthest place I could. And I was like, because in my head, I pictured how would I live if I was really like in an Animal Crossing world? Where would I want to live? And I was like, oh, there's like this little waterfall. I lived close to the waterfall and also kind of close to the beach, but all like surrounded by trees and by myself.
And by herself.
Yes, and I was like, I'm introverting in this game too. The only hard part was coming up with a name for like my island. And coming up with the like, and again, they're like, oh, what are you gonna name your little character? I mean, you can put your own name, but I was like, do I want to put my own name? I did, because I couldn't think of anything else. And I was like, I don't know what to put. And so that was the hard part. I was literally there for like so long just with the controller like this. But I was so happy. I learned how to fish. I learned how to do other things. So I'm so happy. I'm living my best life on Animal Crossing. And that was like the highlight of my weekend, of my Saturday. It was a lazy day. I just played video games. I'm so happy to get back into gaming with the Switch. Unfortunately, I've taken over my brother's Switch. It's like moved into my room right now. And he's like, you have to put it back eventually. And I was like, yeah, I will. But I'm like trying to get all my gaming in. It's so hard. It makes me, okay, adult life makes gaming hard. Because I haven't gamed in a while. Like I got into a game that I want to like consistently play, like Animal Crossing, and I realized, oh my god, Saturday I started my Animal Crossing thing. I already missed yesterday. I didn't go on to talk to my neighbors or whatever I'm supposed to do, and I was like, I already missed it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss it today because of work. And I was like, oh my god, gaming is so hard when you're an adult. But yeah, that was essentially the highlight of my weekend. Was Animal Crossing.
That's so
finally being able to do something that I wanted to. Also, little disclaimer for our viewers. You totally just reminded me that this one is coming out around Valentine's Day, and I had some Valentine's Day decorations that I haven't put up yet because again, in real time, this is pre-recorded. So in the next episodes, I'm gonna put them up. I don't want to hear anything. Mind your business. I'm kidding. I'm like, I don't want to hear anything. I'm gonna have Valentine's Day. Yeah.
So mad. I wanted to do a whole damn set.
Yeah, we're going to do Valentine's Day setups. We are, because
I want to. Me cago en su. Oh my god. Okay, so like this is Daniela being the whiniest, saddest little. This is the rare moment that y'all see Daniela be baby. But you just reminded me that I really wanted to do a fun setup for my birth month. I mean, this is cute and all, but I wanted to like deck all out and like go buy things and like, you know, put on a sash. I have a sash. You know what? I'm gonna go grab my tiara while you entertain.
Meanwhile, okay, I'm entertained.
So sad. We're going halfway through Daniela's toys and she forgot. You want to know why, guys? Because birth month didn't hit until today, and
was pre-recorded.
That's
yeah,
the problem.
So I didn't think it. Yeah,
once I'm in birth month, I'm very. That made me so sad.
I thought when you said that, I was like, I instantly thought about the box of decorations that I bought. I got this in January, guys. I got the decorations in January, and I realized, oh my god, I didn't set them up. I haven't because it's barely the first of the month right now, and I was like, oh no.
Listen,
so yeah, we're gonna do it all.
To quote one of my favorite quotes from a song by, you know, the queen, Miley Cyrus, at the time known as Hannah Montana. Nobody's perfect. I gotta work it. Do it again and again. I'm gonna go grab my tiara, okay, y'all? How did I do this to myself? I failed as a human being. I don't even know where my sash is. It's somewhere. I don't even think I have it. Actually, I think that my sash is still at the house that I threw my party at last year for my birthday. Because listen, Papa Dios gave me the universe, allowed Daniela to go ham for 26. I went ham. I went ham. And it was right before the pandy started, right before, like 2 weeks before we all went on lockdown. And because it was on leap day, I did it on leap day too. On leap day, I had me a
Yes.
single ladies party. I looked like a bad bitch. That shit was fire. My ass was out, but like it was covered in a sheer glittery dress. Oh, it was, whew. I beat the shit out of that piñata. Somebody was like, "Is she okay?" So aggressive with the piñata. And my cheesecake tray is still over there because pandy. I haven't had time to go get it. I got super drunk. Super drunk. But I do have my tiara.
Yay! Okay, so we're at least set. Okay, so again, this whole all the following after this episode, we're going to be all decked out in Valentine's Day, birthday stuff. Y'all, it's okay.
Just
It's
deal.
okay.
Just deal.
Just
We're gonna
deal.
do it.
Just deal. We're celebrating all month. And so yes. Anyway, that was how my weekend went. How was your weekend?
My weekend. What the fuck did I do this weekend? I asked
See,
you.
that's usually me. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What did I do this weekend? I think I just danced and I did a lot of, what was it, Friday that I did all the TikToks? Was it Friday the day that I did all of the TikToks? I think it was.
I
Or maybe
think so.
it was either Friday or Thursday. One day I just went ham on TikTok and I filmed like 8 TikToks and they've been going out little by little. Oh, I think it was Thursday because I
It's
remember
Thursday.
talking about this the last podcast, which was only filmed a few days ago. But over the weekend, I did a lot of dancing. I had, let's see, I had Mi Esencia practice, which I think I mentioned in one of our previous podcasts. I am the new franchise director of Mi Esencia San Francisco.
Yay!
And we started our first official practice this week. So we did that and it was fun. It's been rainy here. So because of like weather conditions, we decided to do it virtually rather than social distancing in person for those who wanted to do that. But so we did it virtually, but it was really fun. And we like worked on technique and I talked to them about everything that they're going to need to expect and like all the things they were going to do. And the girls just seemed really excited. And then the next day on Sunday, we had a directors meeting with all of the directors of the franchises all over. There's like, New York, Seattle, and me. We are the United States franchises. And then there's a lot in Mexico. There's Tijuana, there's Juarez, there's Guadalajara, there's Ciudad de Mexico, there's Frenesio, there's Oaxaca. I think I'm missing another one. But yeah, there's a bunch of us. So we had like a director's like meeting where she like checked us on like the choreography and like gave us some, pointers and all this stuff. And then we had like the first challenge with her, which I have to find some time to film it this week. And it'll be coming out over the weekend. So you guys will have already maybe seen this. If you want to follow me at me underscore Esencia underscore SF on Instagram. You can catch all of that good stuff, but we're doing a fun it was all of the franchises on the Zoom and Roxy taught us this choreo, this little challenge choreo. It's like a few 8 counts, but I feel like a bad bitch whenever I do her challenges because she has so much raw energy and so much fucking presence when she dances. Like she's just so like, ha, in your face, which is like, for those of you who know me, like that's me. When I perform, I can be very like vicious, passionate, very like hard on my sleeves that are rolled up. Yes.
Yay! No,
Yeah.
but that's great. I honestly dancing and doing something that you really love over the weekend. Like I feel like, what did I do? What is that effect, guys? What is the effect that on Monday the weekend was just yesterday? But what is it the effect that we're like, what did we do? Like we forget entirely. But honestly, if I forgot and I feel like happy on Monday, that means that I had a good weekend. And so
True.
yeah, So if I'm like, that means I was relaxed because if I remember my weekend, like I remember my week, it's probably because I had a million things going on, which I personally don't like to have a million things going on the weekend. Okay. I like to relax. And if I have something going on, to be like a chill thing, that's happening. Nothing that's like busy stacked up because then I feel like I did I really get a break from work?
Yeah, I feel that. I
Yeah.
used to always pack my weekends all of the time because I'm a busy bee. But I've learned that I need some form of a balance. So I do love having busy weekends, but I need to budget time to decompress. I have to have my nightly, I don't talk to anybody, don't bother me. Like for me, resting means I'm not even going to talk on the phone. Like for me, resting is I'm going to read a book, I'm going to watch a show, I'm going to have some snacks. relax. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do some things for me, like not even filming my TikToks. TikToks are great, but they're not like rest because I'm,
Yeah.
but they're like, for me, those are like therapeutic. But I need to have like lazy time where it's
Same.
like I don't have any responsibilities, nobody's waiting on me, nothing. And I also like to be alone in that lazy time because
Oh.
it's so important to spend time. And this week I was reminded of that, but it's so important to spend time with yourself. It's so important to date yourself. It's so important to
Yes.
date yourself. Very appropriate to the Valentine's Day coming up. It's so important to date yourself. About a year ago, when I was like, living my best life, I would take myself on dates, even if that was just at home, even if that was me getting dolled up, making a cheese
Mhm.
platter, watching a movie, having some wine, catching a vibe or whatever. But like, it's so important to date yourself because you would need to show yourself love, otherwise you become kind of dependent of other people showing you that love. And also, when you give yourself that time and appreciation, you just feel better. You just
Mhm.
feel better.
I agree. I completely agree about dating yourself. So this is something that I've talked about before in like previous like podcasts too. That I, considering that I was like demisexual, considering I was, excuse me, I
No,
am.
I was like, oh.
But I didn't realize that I was in high school. So obviously I didn't have a lot of crushes. Valentine's Day was always a weird topic for me, a weird one, because I felt, like you said, a lot of pressure to have a Valentine or to be hoping that my crush would give me flowers or buy me something. I didn't even have crushes. So it was really hard and felt weird and I just felt odd and awkward. But point is, what I was getting at is I was single for years before I had my first boyfriend. I was well out of high school when I had my first boyfriend. And let me tell you though, and that's something that I personally would like, I go back and tell myself, you know what, that if there was anything that I did right in high school was the fact that though I felt weird and I definitely felt societal pressure to want to have a boyfriend. And there are, we talk about in our Dear Diaries that I do have some lovey-dovey like entries where I'm like essentially like whining that I wish that I had a boyfriend and stuff. And I think that was coming from the societal pressure that like you are successful or you are popular if you have a boyfriend, or it makes you walk cooler if you have a boyfriend,
Mhm.
or it's like validating in some way. And I wanted to be validated in some way. And so I remember that I wanted that, but at the very deep in my core, I didn't. I didn't want a boyfriend because I didn't feel that way for anyone. And so what
Mhm.
I learned in that time of being single was to really date myself. I dated myself all through high school and a little
Yay!
bit into college. Yeah, I really learned to be with myself and to be comfortable with myself and how to take care of myself and not need that validation from somebody else. And that was probably one of the best things I did for myself in high school, was to not give too much into although I was feeling the pressure, to not actually allow myself to give into the pressure to something that I didn't actually feel, because I
Yeah,
didn't actually feel like I wanted a boyfriend. I didn't actually have feelings for anyone, because that would have been wrong
yeah.
to get into a relationship knowing that I don't have any feelings for the person, just to have the person. That's wrong. And so I'm glad that I didn't do that, because I really learned how to appreciate myself in that time, and to have that skill so early on in life, I realize, is not very common. And so,
No, it's so important. It's funny. I love that you bring that up because like that's also not to say that, like, for example, like because I hear this a lot, but
huh?
that's not to say that it's okay, or how do I phrase this? It's okay if you want someone too.
Hmm.
It's okay if you want love. You shouldn't also feel bad about wanting love, but
Hmm.
you should also not feel bad about not having love. I think it's a
Hmm.
balance. I think that it's a balance. I think that it's okay to want love to happen and to find love, but let it happen. Don't force it to happen. Same with dating yourself. It's very, very important to give yourself some time and to date yourself,
Hmm.
because it's self-care. And sorry y'all, I like, it's still kind of early for me and I feel like all mucusy. I apologize for all the and the sniffles. I'm okay. I just I didn't sleep much last night, so
Hmm.
anywho, um, it's important to hacerlo a tu tiempo, and you can also date yourself while you're in a relationship. I feel like that's a huge misconception because unlike you, I've always been a relationship person. I always had a boyfriend on Valentine's Day. I think actually last year was the first year in like at least non like 9 in about like 9 years that I didn't have a boyfriend on Valentine's Day. This is the first year that I didn't have a boyfriend on Valentine's Day. And let me tell you,
Wow.
it was fucking great. But I think there's a balance in that too. Date yourself, but like if you're I used to get this a lot, especially after I got divorced, like you should be alone. Like you should be alone. Like people would just try to force in between every relationship, people would try to force me to be single. Like
Yeah.
people would always be very upset by me, meeting someone and pursuing it. So I'm the type of person, if I feel something for you, I'm going to pursue that option. I'm not just going to be like, yeah, you know what? I don't I just got out of a relationship. No, if I actually feel something for you, I'm open to pursuing the option.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously how quickly or slowly depends on the person and all that kind of stuff. But
Uh-huh.
I always got pushed, be single, be single, be single, be single, be single, be single. You need to be by yourself all of the
Mm-hmm.
time. And I used to get shamed a lot for it always felt like really bitter hate for being in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't fun. But something I learned in this last year is that I can or I can't be single, but like being single shouldn't be the only thing that keeps you that allows you to love yourself, that allows you to
Yes.
find yourself. Because I think that's the
Yes.
problem too. When you're in a relationship, you should make time for yourself. And sometimes people turn their entire world into that other person and they don't really make
Mm-hmm.
time for themselves anymore. They prioritize their time for their significant other. And yes, you do now need to balance time with a significant other, but don't forget about yourself.
Yep.
Prioritize that time for yourself. Have sacred time where you're like, I love you, baby, but like I'm gonna go do my thing and stand your ground. Like, like I think it's as something as a divorced woman that I learned, because we were each other's everything. We lived together, we worked together, we were each other's best friends,
Ah.
we had the same hobbies, we were by each other's side 24/7. And let me tell you, that shit gets real old real fast. Let me tell you, it's fucking annoying as shit.
Uh-huh.
Not to say that like, you shouldn't necessarily want that, but it's what I'm trying to say is it's healthy to have time apart. It's healthy to miss each other. It's healthy to have things that you don't do with them and that you do for yourself, you do for you, that you do
Mm-hmm.
separately, because y'all can always come together and then talk about it. Oh, I did
Yeah.
this thing, this was so much fun. You don't have to like everything the other person likes. You don't have to do everything the other person
Yeah.
does. Also, if you're in a dynamic that was similar to mine, it's so important to find that balance, because being with
Yes.
someone 24/7, as appealing as that sounds, and I know I'm divorced, but at one point I did love him very, very much. As appealing as that
Uh-huh.
sounds, it's exhausting. You
Yeah.
lose that sense of privacy. You go from
Oh my
that
God.
it's
Yeah.
it's this new sense of loneliness. It's this really crazy new sense of loneliness, because you're never alone, but you feel alone in the desire to want to be alone, because you can never be alone. And let me tell you that being alone and having a space for yourself, time for yourself, it's really important, because you need time to, like, even when you're upset with each other. Like I used to always say, and I say this, like, to people that I've had relationships with, like as an adult, or like, situationships, like, listen, if you want to be upset and go rant to your friends about the X, Y, and Z, go the fuck ahead and come back to me and let's work this shit out. You need to have time where you could like cool off, steam off, or whatever it is. And then, because it just makes you appreciate the other person so much more. When they say distance or time makes the heart grow fonder and all that stuff, it's so true. It's so, so,
It
so
is. I totally agree with everything you're saying. Like I agree with you with the whole
true.
the person becoming the center of your universe. Yeah, in my first relationship, because I often saw that behavior around me, I mimicked it. I was like, okay, this person now becomes the center of my universe.
It's not
And
healthy. Yeah.
I wanted to be like that was my only friend. That was the only person I talked to, the only person I ever made efforts to hang out with. It was bad. But the way in which the way I was able to it's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, in my relationship. The way I was able to preserve that time for myself is that we actually did not see each other that often. So I didn't, because I didn't, although I really should have had that, I should have used that time to stay connected with my friends. I didn't, because I ended up using that time to stay connected with me, because I didn't see him a lot. So I do all my introversion during the week that I didn't see him. I would just do all my introverting then. And then but it put a lot of like, you're right, just seeing the same person and trying to have the same hobbies and trying to like everything they like is so hard. And it is very exhausting. I can't imagine what it's like to work with them and be with them 24/7. That's so hard. Yeah, like when you were saying that, I was like, that sounds exhausting. And I am somebody who I am self-proclaimed clingy. I love to be cling to people and be all over them. But even how on Animal Crossing I wanted to introvert on Animal Crossing, I need to introvert too. Like I can be as clingy, but when I'm done, okay, like I want to be by myself because it's so important for me, at least as an introvert, to be alone with my thoughts. I want to think about it. I want to reminisce on the day that we had. I want to reminisce on the conversations we had. I want to think about things. I want to feel it all over again without their presence, without the pressure of their presence. And so, yeah, and I also want to just play my video games. I also just want to lay in bed and listen to music and do nothing. And I feel like, yeah, with the pressure of somebody else, if there was somebody like with me 24/7, I would feel like I'm not ever alone. And when you said the loss of privacy, I'm like, girl, oh my God, I didn't think about that. Because yeah, it's a loss of privacy because I'm trying to think to myself and just to try to embody like a Casper, the friendly ghost kind of person, and have them be like hovering here or hovering behind the camera. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I would be uncomfortable 24/7 because I feel like I mean, as much as you want to be yourself around the person, your SO, right? A part of myself would always feel like I am entertaining in a way. Like I gotta put on, I gotta be social, I gotta, because they're here, they're watching me. It's not the same as I can just check
I will
out.
say eventually that actually stops. You really do become yourself. Eventually you're not entertaining. It takes time and it doesn't really, I've noticed, at least in my experience with the relationships, it flourishes more when you live with someone because it's exhausting to put on a front all of the time and you shouldn't have to. But yeah, it's still important to be alone, like to have some time by yourself. And you're a self-proclaimed clingy person. I used to think that I was kind of clingy, and then I realized I'm not. I'm not clingy. I'm not clingy. Do I like attention? Fuck yeah. I love attention. I love me some attention. I love some dedication. But as a classic Aquarius, mama loves her space. Mama needs her me time. If you smother me too much, I get like, for the most part, I think, I need to have my me time. I need to be away from you. I need to, because otherwise I just get like, I get real fed up. I really, really do. I feel like there was something else I was going to say to that. And just like, that TikTok I was watching the other day about people with ADHD going, oh, I don't want to interrupt. Don't forget the thought. Don't forget the thought. Don't forget the thought. And I forgot it. I totally.
I can't imagine how hard that is. It must be difficult for me. I'm like, oh, the thought, put it in the pocket, and then and I guess it's really hard. Yeah, I can't imagine how hard that is. But before we hop in to everything, I wanted to address our matching fits, guys. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're matching. We are matching. We have our World of Feriela t-shirts. You guys can't see the backs, but on the back, mine says Fer and then Ella says Elas. So that one's up. And then also, what else we got? What else we got on?
We are also, whoops, wrong hand. We are also matching in friendship bracelets, except my heart fell off. But we have these really cute friendship bracelets. Mine is more of a magenta fuchsia pink with a gold chain, and hers is more of a hot pink with a gold chain. That's hot pink, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a hot pink. It's not my kind of pink, but it's still pink, right?
So I was it's funny because both of these pinks are in my aesthetic. She likes the baby soft pinks, and I like the loud in your face pinks. I like the bold pinks. I like the I'ma fuck you up pinks.
See, like I like the color of our shirts. For those of you listening, I didn't realize I didn't even describe them. I'm so sorry. Okay. Danny's shirt. Sorry, I had a moment. I was like, "What is happening?" Okay, Danny's shirt is a.
I'm so sorry. Danny was related to me.
So Danny's shirt, and her big and her tiggle bitties have the logo of our World of Feriela. If you don't know what the logo is, what are you doing? Go to our Instagram page so you can see our World of Feriela logo. It's on also on our podcasting stuff. But anywho, y'all know what the logo is. So we have our logo on our chest. Hers is a peach colored, but it is like a brighter peach. It's not
like
like
a corally peach.
it's like a corally peach. It's really nice. I love the color. It looks amazing. It looks amazing on you.
Thank you.
Yes, and then like I mentioned, the Ella is on the back, but you can't see that. And mine is a baby pink. It is a soft baby pink. The baby is the baby pinks. And it is yeah, and it has the logo as well on the front. But yes, in the baby pink, this kind of baby pink is the kind of pink that I like. See, matches my headphones and everything. You see the pink that's on my little bear over here on Rilakuma. It's like this kind of pink is even too dark for me. Like, I don't like this kind of pink. It needs to be this kind. Like, yeah, I'm very specific.
She likes a very soft, for those of you listening, a very soft, I would call it dainty, delicate. Think of like a feather. If it had a hint of pink in it, just add a few more hints. That's it. The Rilakuma, which I always want to call him Mila Kunis. Always. You always say Rilakuma, and I'm always like, my celebrity crush, Mila Kunis.
Oh my God.
But no, he's got like it is a light pink, but it's like a dirty pink.
Yeah.
It's like, and not like it's dirty, but it looks dirty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks dirty.
It looks dirty.
He's a dirty boy.
Yeah. Yeah, Rilakuma would be up to some things. He'd be outside just, rolling around.
That's hella funny.
But yeah, so yeah, see, like that kind of pink, that to me is still like a little too dark for me. But yes, I'd like a very light pink. Yes, and we have little chokers on. You guys can't see mine because mine is disappearing in the camera. It looks kind of pink, but it's actually like a lavendery lilac.
I am here for that one. It's so cute.
Really, but it's disappearing because every time I go back here, nobody can see it. And then, which one do you have on, Danny?
I have a navy one on because we're being twinsies today. We're being Bratz twins. We're not just twins, we're Bratz twins.
Yes, in case y'all ever call us twin. Oh yeah, and also another twinning moment. And also our most awaited segment, Sock Cam. We're with our socks.
Yeah. So for those of you guys listening, because I don't even need to look at our socks to tell you what sock it is. Today, we both have our feet up. Yes, this is a double footsie time. We're having we're playing footsies right now, y'all.
Yeah, virtual footsies.
Virtual footsies. Okay. Anywho, Bae is wearing, we've worn these before, but we thought we'd bring them back today. She's wearing her crew socks, all black, with the ankle that says Bad Witch in white. Such a classic, bold statement. What am I wearing?
So Danny is wearing the dog hair, the decoration of dog hair on the socks. She is wearing these. They're like little material we talk about. That's kind of like glittery. I don't know what it's called.
Tinsely. They're tinsely.
Yeah, tinsely. They're like tinsely, and it's like a purple and blue, like a purple and turquoise, like turquoise.
Dude, were you gonna say burple?
Burple, yeah,
burple. It's burple. I love that. It's burple.
It's burple. It is blue purple, colored, and it has like a little iridescence to it. That's like in a little like blue color. Is it like aqua? Yeah, like aqua iridescence. And it has my favorite part. It has the top has a little ruffle on it. I love the ruffle. And it's like a black lace, and on the side it says Good Witch. These are very fitting to our personas. Bad Witch and Good Witch. Yes, these are very fitting. Actually, we were like, oh, we want to match everything. And yes, like we said, we are Bratz twins. Don't ever say we're just twins. We're Bratz twins. That's that is our goal in life, is to be Bratz twins.
We're Bratz twins. And I know that aesthetically she looks like the angel and I look like the devil, but innocently, emotionally, that bitch is the devil. I'm the angel here. Not because I want to be an angel, but because I just what do you and Oliver always say?
Oh, we always say that number one, we say that you're wholesome, and then we always say we got to protect Daniela at all costs. We always say that. She's just you're just so wholesome and good, and like we talk. Okay, this is one of our favorite topics of me and Oliver. Do y'all remember single Oliver? Yeah, that's what we're talking
about. which I didn't have. I didn't have the balls to tell him that we did that. I was like, that week it just so happened that he was like not having it, and so I was like, I can't tell him. He's gonna rip my head off. So he still doesn't know about single Oliver.
So eventually, when he watches all of these, he's gonna realize Single Oliver is a running thing on this podcast. So Single Oliver. So me and Single Oliver always talk about Daniela, and we always talk about how wholesome she is, and we list off the ways that she's wholesome. We're like, she likes minions, and she's like this, and like just your whole personality. We talk about it, and we're always like, and that you're low key baby, and we're always like protect. And we me and Single Oliver.
I am the most in denial low key baby ever.
Low key, yeah.
I don't let my baby come out often, but like as you guys saw earlier today, as I whined about my birthday, that's some baby shit I do. That is definitely some
like that is so like she's low key baby. So we always say that. And okay, me and Single Oliver hardly ever agree. Because he's
true.
Just,
y'all defy the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, Libra and Sagittarius. So that's what we are. And so like we hardly ever agree on something. But what we agree on is that Daniela is like wholesome, good, and protect Daniela at all costs. That is the vibe both of us always have. We're like, nah, we're gonna protect Daniela. Which is why I joked the last podcast where I was like, if you slide into our DM trying to talk crazy to Daniela, I'm gonna jump into that DM. And so because
she will. Well, listen, y'all. Am I gonna reveal this secret?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Sorry, I gotta sit back down.
She's training me to be confrontational during pandemic. You see, because I'm not anymore, but I used to not be such a confrontational person because I was always so depressy and because when I get upset and angry, I cry. And I feel like that makes me look weak. And I know it doesn't, but like I can't help it. Anywho, so I don't like confrontation because I get hella emotional and I feel like it takes away some of the power of the conversation from me. And usually people walk all the fuck over me and it's not fun. My brother always tells me I need to be meaner. I've been working on it. She's been training me. She's been training me to be meaner. She's been training me to be more confrontational. She's been training me to stand my ground. Anybody who has received a text message from me or a message from me when they try to come at me sideways and I put my fucking foot down, that was her.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't her. It was me, but best believe I was on the phone with her trying to figure out how to put my foot down on the floor.
It was an encouraging push of like, hey, you don't gotta take this. And like I said, we talk about being confrontational and mean and everything, but guys, I'm not somebody who I don't be picking fights. I don't pick fights with people.
No,
I don't. It's just a way to tell people things and also stand your ground. And that's actually what I was telling Daniela. I was like, there's a way you can be nice and still be nice girl Daniela, because she is nice girl Daniela. You've been known for that as your entire life. You've always been friendly and nice, and also a way to be like, and be like,
sadly, the hard part with people who are very nice, like very presenting nice, which is me, I'm like, I wouldn't hurt a fly. Like I'm very nice. The hard part about that is that unfortunately people walk all over you. People see that you're nice and they take the fuck advantage. I can't tell you how many people have taken advantage of my kindness. And it sucks because I'm an empath. And so I try to empathize. I can't help it. I can't just like, I struggle with saying no. I struggle with being mean. I struggle with standing my ground because I always try to see from their perspective, and I do it to the point where I don't put my feelings first. And sometimes you have to be like, listen, I understand that you feel this type of way, but what about my feelings? What about how I feel? What about like what's going on with me? You can't keep, I'm the kind of person that I'll put everybody else first, and I can't keep doing that. That's one thing I learned in my last the last season of Daniela's depressive state during the fall is that I have to put myself first, and I have to stop bending over backwards for everyone, because if I don't stand my ground on how I feel and what I want, nobody's going to.
Like I totally agree with that, and the whole being nice, presenting as yourself as nice and everything, because you are. I can honestly, before I even met you, how I joke about I used to stalk you and everything. Before that, I could list off people who I could approach, like, because again, I always had people in my brain for this reason. It's probably why I was always hyper aware of your existence. I had people in my brain who I always felt I could approach to talk to, and they would be nice to me. And you were on that list. I had people who were like, oh, this person's very nice. And I know that if I were to say something or to be like, hey, can I borrow a pencil? Or, hey, something happened or whatever. Can I borrow this or whatever? If I can say that, I always knew that I could ask you. And I had a group of other people that I used to be hyper aware of their existence, because I think I low-key was obsessed with worst case scenario too. Because part of me was like, what if something happens? What if I I don't know, forget my backpack on like the bus and then I have nothing for school. And like, who could I tell this embarrassing scenario to that would like help me, whatever, or who would be okay, like, who wouldn't make fun of me? You were on that list, because I always felt that you were very nice before, the fact that I didn't know you personally. You just always somebody who was nice and friendly. And so that's why I was like, oh, I'm gonna put this person on the list. And so that's the thing about, being nice presenting, is people do see that, but they see also negativity in a way. They're like, oh, okay, who can I make bend over backwards for me and not have to put out the same kind of effort and
People
everything. And that's
who lacked control in their life and needed control over people to feel like they had some control in their life, which I can resonate with, because I also have control issues, in the sense that, not in the sense of that I like to control people. That's definitely not in. I don't like to control people, but I do like to be in control of my personal situations, of a situation, work situations and all that stuff, in the sense that I don't ask for help, because I don't feel like I can rely on people. But people treat people like that usually because they personally have issues of control, because they don't have control in their life. And so they see people like me and they're like, people are controlling, my parents are controlling me, my parents are doing this, and people in my life are doing this, I can go control this person.
Yeah, and that I honestly, like, it definitely has stems from something else, but it usually tends to be nicer people. And it's not that I have this shield up that makes it be like, I'm like not a nice person, and I'm not doing it purposely, guys. It's just who I am. I am an undercover nice person.
Just
You gotta get
that some people, I would say that you're very nice, but you stand your ground and you're firm. Like you're not afraid to say no. Whereas people, I think, know that it's pretty rare to hear a no from me. I will usually be like, yeah, how can I help? Okay, yeah, you know what? I could probably do something. Or like, it's rare. Before, it was pretty rare that I'd be like, no, I can't. No, I this. No, I that. I bent over backwards for people to try to help them, because I like to help people. I really like to help people, but I need to help myself. And saying no is a way that I'm helping myself.
Because like we were talking about, like they doing things for yourself and like dating yourself. And see, in dating yourself, you learn things like this about yourself. You learn that, okay, I have a hard time saying no, and that, again, getting into relationships and not knowing that you have that kind of thing, that you have a hard time saying no, is a very slippery slope.
It is.
And and so it's very difficult. And again, through that time of again, you don't always have to do your healing and your dating yourself like when you're single or alone, but like just in general, being alone with your thoughts. That's what I always take it as, being alone with your thoughts. And being alone with your thoughts really allows you to realize all these ways that you are like, oh, maybe this about me, or like realize all these things about yourself, because that is how I realize things about myself too. I said I consider myself a nice person, but what I also noticed, in when I was like single for a long time, was that I am somebody who is very opinionated and very verbal about things. And so that was something that I tried, unfortunately, in my relationship at the beginning, at my past relationship. I tried to hide that. I tried to I tried not to be as opinionated, and and I don't know why I thought that was a negative thing. And that also led to a lot of bad decisions too, and a lot of miscommunications, because I realized that now that I'm somebody who, when I have a thought, I got to say it. I got to advocate for my own thoughts. And that's something that I always try to get into the habit of doing. Because if not, I tend to be like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. And not say anything. And I'm like, that's not who I am. For me, if so, and again, you're very concerned with like hurting someone's feelings and stuff. For me, that goes out the window. But I always thought it was bad for that to go out the window, especially if I'm with an SO, right? I'm like, oh, I should care about their feelings, no? So I gotta I guess. And so what I did was, I was like, okay, instead of find the balance, what I did was like, okay, I'm not gonna toss it out the window. Instead, I'm gonna toss what I'm gonna say out the window. And it's like, nah, I didn't think of a way to also say what I need to and take the person's feelings into consideration. That was something that I had to learn on my own as well, because that's a hard one. I definitely am somebody who, if someone usually tries to talk over me, I'll be like, I wasn't done talking, and then continue. Or I'll say, no, not in the interrupting way, but more in a way where I'll start a story, and somebody was not even listening, or not even we're just trying to be the center of attention, will side cut me and try to be the center of attention. Now I will be the kind of person to be like, actually, I wasn't done with my story, and I'll come back. And let me tell you that comes off as very harsh. And I
can really admire that. Honestly, I can really admire that. I
Hmm.
think that there's like, I think we're all learning always kind of
Hmm.
like how to assert ourselves and all this stuff. I was not expecting us to go in this direction, by
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way.
yeah.
But I think that I can admire that. I can admire attitudes like that because I struggle with that. I have been silenced so many times in my life, and I've allowed myself to be silenced in the sense that, like, when I was silenced, I was too scared to speak up. I've always been too scared to speak up, too
Hmm.
scared that somehow it will backfire towards me or that somebody would see me as a bitch, until I realized, what the fuck do I care what other people think about me? Who the fuck
Hmm.
cares? Like, at this point, listen, you're gonna love me or hate me. I'm not gonna keep you all in my life anyway. I'm not gonna keep you all in my life. So what, you know what? If you're gonna be a bitch, a hater, or whatever it is that you're going to be, if you're gonna sit here and judge me like you're so perfect,
Hmm.
I rather get rid of you from my life now than later. And that's on Aquarius vibes.
On Aquarius, it really is. It really is on Aquarius vibes. Yeah, I think you see again, we're talking about how we're Bratz twins, right? Guys, we're
Mhm.
even Bratz twins in our lifestyles because you see, it's we always tend to have the balance of what the other one wants. Because for me, actually, it's the opposite. I would love to be able to be a little more careful with people's feelings because what I used to think in moments like that, where someone tried to side cut me, and then I'd be like, actually, what was it called? Game set match. I'd be like, like I'd be like game set match. I'm not done with my story, and then go back in my brain. I would think, is that a little mean? Maybe I should, after I'm done, maybe I should be like, what were you saying after? Try to like make it right, you know? And in my brain, I'd be like, who cares? They cut me off. I want to finish my story. So why did they do that to me? And I'd be like that. And that's wrong too. And I realized, again, trying to find that balance of, being careful of someone else's feelings, because I am aware that I can come off a little as a little callous sometimes. And it's hard for me to find the balance of being a little understanding of people's feelings and everything. And it's probably because, we talk about histories and everything. For you, it was a history of being silenced and being scared to speak up, right? For me, it was more of, if I don't speak up, people are always going to bully me. For me, it was always being on the defense, being ready. And that's what my life has always been. And so I think that's why we have we each want what the other one, the other quality, because we're Bratz twins, even in that aspect.
Yes, yes. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this friendship quiz, but first, because we haven't addressed this and I wanted to address this. Listen, y'all, we're talking about Valentine's Day being around the corner and my birthday being tomorrow. Real quick. Listen, if you're trying to date me, um, any of my exes can tell you we do not combine my birthday and Valentine's Day. I know damn well that they are 2 days apart. They are two separate days. Don't hit me with that. Oh, you know what, I'll take you out for your birthday, and then we'll also do Valentine. No. I'm sorry. Listen, I don't need gifts. No, that's a lie. I do want gifts. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to be more honest with myself. I don't need gifts, but do I like gifts? Yes, I like gifts. Do you have to spend a fortune on me? No, you can fucking make the gift. But um I'm sorry, you're going to be a little bit broke the week of Valentine's Day because it's my birthday, which is the bigger deal to me, and it's Valentine's Day. But just know that I'm a loving, giving person and I will be giving as well. I also don't like that I have to give 2 days after my own birthday.
Yeah, I
I,
was gonna
I
say, I'm
low
like,
key hate it. I'm like, this is supposed to be my week and now I got to give you attention. So
ah.
last year was great because we we celebrated Valentine's Day. This was
Hmm.
my first, like I said, this was my first Valentine's Day being single in, like, I think like 9 years. I'd always been in a relationship and I was like, wow, now I'm gonna feel what everybody else felt. And I was like, you know what? No, fuck that. Es el día del amor y la amistad. It's the day of love and friendship. And you know what? I am going to make my best friends my Valentines. So it was me, Bay, and our other short bitch friend Adriana, and we went on a like Galentine's Day birthday, like, I'm sorry, birthday, no, just Galentine's Day date. We went on a
Hmm.
whole ass day. And let me tell you, that was the best fucking date I've ever fucking been on. We went all out. Babe, why don't you fucking tell them how I blew it out of the
Yes,
park as a whole ass wife. I'm a whole ass
she
wife.
did. All right, so let me set the stage for y'all. Let's get into the time machine and travel back into last year. So me and Daniela
Pre-pandy.
were both pre-pandy, yes, pre-pandy. Before I even could fathom that a pandemic would happen in my lifetime. So got into the time machine. And so me and Daniela were both newly single around the time of like Valentine's Day, And so I remember thinking, okay, in the past, like I said, when I was single, I felt weird and some kind of pressure about Valentine's Day and blah 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 blah, right? And I used to, because I felt so weird and the pressure and didn't feel validated. I used to be kind of be those bitter people. I kind of used to be the people that when I would see people carry around their giant stuffed teddy bears and their chocolates, I'd be like, I'd be sad. I would want to not go to school on Valentine's Day. Because I hated it. I hated sitting behind all the girls in class who got flowers, and I used to hate it so much. And I used to feel so bad. And so for years, I'm gonna expose myself, guys. For years, my consistent Valentine has been my mom. Actually, my mom buys me chocolate. Used to, even back in those hashtag single days, back in in high school, my mom would buy me chocolate. She'd always come home with chocolate on Valentine's Day because I think she knew that I felt some kind of weird way. So I used to that. Anyways, that was what Valentine's Day just signified to me. Was eventually I was able to separate that. I think once I graduated high school and didn't have to see everybody carrying around teddy bears anymore, I was able to celebrate life. So
Sorry.
it's okay. Again, it's you have to be right with thyself first. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I felt pressure, and so I think
Yeah,
that
of course.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
I
that I was
I
demisexual.
can
So
understand that, to the sense that even as someone who was always in a relationship,
mhm,
that holiday always made me feel pressured to have a, this can sound so fucked up and weird, to have a
mhm,
worthy gift. Like
mhm,
like did my boyfriend deliver? Because y'all, I didn't realize I was gay. Did my boyfriend deliver? And like almost this feeling of like, personally, I didn't really care. You could
mhm.
get me like a rose, a chocolates, like something simple, but the way that society and some girls made it feel was like, who had the better Valentine's Day gift? It
Who
was
was
like,
walking around with more
this is
balloons?
this is
Yeah.
why I usually don't say I'm a gifts person. I do like gifts, but I don't actually care how much the gift cost, or like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I just like the fact that someone, you could buy me a fucking keychain, but it's a mermaid or something. And you're like,
Mhm.
this made me think of you and I wanted to get it for you because I saw it in you. And I'm like, oh my God, that's great. You give me one single rose and you're just like, this rose is this beautiful, and some other people might be like, he just got you that. Like, that's like, he doesn't love you. And that's so fucked up, because
Mhm.
um why are we measuring the way someone feels about us? Why are we measuring our self-worth, our worthiness to be loved by gifts from others, by attention from others?
Yeah, because that's what it was to me. It was validation to my self-worth. It was not that I wanted an actual boyfriend or an actual Valentine. Because again, I knew that I didn't want a boyfriend. It's not that I actually wanted a boyfriend. It's just I think I wanted the gift so that people could get, so I could have worth, so that I could be one of the pretty girls, so that I could be one of the girls that gets a lot of Valentine's gifts. And so it was difficult. So eventually, when I left high school, I was able to separate it more, and Valentine's Day just became a day. And then I'd get chocolate sometimes, which is pretty cool. And then, so I was like, cool. Then I had a boyfriend, my first boyfriend, and I was so happy. And then when Valentine's Day came around, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to actually get flowers or get something. And I'm going to be able to have someone on Valentine's Day. And let me tell you, remember how I talked about the Animal Crossing underwhelming? And this is not to say the gift or whatever was underwhelming. But you know how I talked about how I was afraid that I was building Animal Crossing up in my head? I had built up the idea of what I was going to get, not as in the gift, I was going to get a big gift, but what I was going to get emotionally from the gift. It was going to
Yep.
suddenly, that I was
I
suddenly going to feel the happiest I've ever felt and the most validated I ever felt. And we did our gift exchange, I was like, this, okay, this is it. Like, I like my gift. This is nice. I'm like, this is like, he got me flowers. And that was for the first time anyone
But
ever
it
got me
didn't make it
flowers.
feel what you thought it would. You know what?
I
You say
didn't.
that and I'm triggered, because I realize that sometimes that's the way I treat my birthday. Or that's the way, no, I should say yes, my birthday, but also like as if all the gifts and all this stuff are going to give me this like feeling, as if all the attention is going to give me this feeling. And it does at times, but whenever something happens, life happens,
Mhm,
and not everybody gives me that attention that I try to give out, because
mhm,
I do try to give out that attention to people on their birthday,
mhm,
I am left feeling so empty and
mhm.
I just cry. It's so
It
weird.
is.
Yeah,
It
I
is,
can
right, right.
understand.
So yeah, that's what happened. We did our gift exchange, and I was like happy because again, the first time anyone got me flowers, I thought it was gonna be a monumental moment. I thought I would cry. I thought I would feel like the beautifulest girl in the world because somebody gave me flowers.
Mhm.
And I was like, I just feel like I just got a gift, and that's it, and that's okay. I didn't feel any different than when my mom had been giving me chocolates for years. I felt the same way. I
Mhm.
just got a gift today. That was it. And nothing that not great, not appreciative. I appreciated my gift. I liked the flowers and the chocolates that my mom got me always. I always ate them the same day, you know? And so I was always happy. I was happy. I was content. But it didn't fill me up in the way that I was sold this idea it would. So then Valentine's Day, moving forward, always had that undertone to me. And I always felt pressure as well, all the time on Valentine's Day. So finally, when I was newly single, I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be newly single because now Valentine's Day is just a day. And now I don't have to get anybody a gift. And yeah, I have to. That's what I felt. I had to, right? Because everybody celebrates Valentine's Day, right? And so I was like, I don't have to get anybody a gift. And I can just exist and I can eat my little chocolates that my mom is going to get me. And okay, the thing about me, I love the little conversation hearts. I love them. And I was, I'm gonna buy a big ass bag of them and eat them by myself and just chill and watch, do my own thing. And then I remember that I think it was your idea. You proposed to me. You're like, oh, we should celebrate Valentine's Day together, have like a Galentine's thing. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't mind. I was like, why not? And then so we had been, planning it with Daniela and then our other friend Adriana. And I remember that I was, all right, it's gonna be like a chill thing. I was like, I'm just gonna do the same thing that I do, like, like my little chocolates and my little movie. It'll be all right. And so the weeks leading up, like, I don't know, suddenly, like,
I was getting so excited.
yeah, the weeks leading up, suddenly, like, there was this surge of like excitement as well. And I was like, what is this feeling? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear, I planned out my outfit. I knew what I was going to wear weeks in advance. I was like, I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna do my hair like this, I'm gonna do my makeup like this. And I was already thinking, and I was like, I never felt this, never felt that for any Valentine's Day date I ever had. And not to say that the feeling that there was no effort there. It's just that it was a different feeling. And I was like, okay, I feel like excited to actually like do this, right? And then I remember that I went out and got like little tiny gifts for both of them because I was like, okay, I want to like do a little gift exchange. I mean, they don't have to get me anything, but I want to give them something so that we all got something on Valentine's Day. And then I bought myself some chocolate as well, right? So I went and got myself gifts. And so, anywho, the day of, I believe, I'm pretty sure I did have work. I had work, and then I came home and I put on my little outfit and everything, and I did like my makeup, and I told myself, I remember as I was putting on the outfit, I put on I wore a skirt. I wore a little skirt with like little tights that had hearts on them. It was so cute. And I put it on. As I was putting my skirt on, I was like, girl, don't you think you're doing too much? And I was like, you can, yeah, right. And here's the kicker. I was like, don't you think you're doing too much? I'm like, girl, like you're over here putting on a full on outfit. And what if they just show up in jeans? What if they they're gonna be like, what are you
Me
doing?
show up in jeans. Me.
Yeah, and
That's funny.
I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe it's all in your head. Like you're making this feel like it's like a big deal, for some reason. And I'm like, but like you're over here like doing too much. So I remember that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my makeup, but I'm not gonna go overboard. And so I was like, let me like just do a light little makeup, and then we go to Daniela's house and we show up. So we show up, and she opens the door, and Daniela is decked out. She has a full beat on, a full outfit.
Let
Her
me tell you
hair is
guys.
done.
I'm gonna interrupt you right there just because I want to talk about the outfit. You
Yeah.
see, at this time, Daniela was dating, right? And
Mhm.
I had just gotten from my personal thrift shop of my cousin Jessie. Shout out to Jessie, yo. Most of my fashion, some of the stuff that y'all see that y'all are like, damn, bitch, that's iconic. It's because she has a shopping addiction. She's a clothes hoarder. I love you, but you're a clothes hoarder. And she's getting rid of some of her clothes. And I finally get to have it because, I get to have her clothes. Anywho, I had she one of the things that I got once was there was this really, really beautiful yellow dress with like little blue flowers on it. And it's a baby doll dress. It has like a little sleeve and it's modest yet revealing. So it's like the perfect kind of, I don't know. It's like you can still kind of see my boobs, but I'm covered. And
Mhm.
it accentuates my shape really well and it just dances down. It falls down and it's not very long. It's pretty short. So it's like mid thigh. And I
Mhm.
wore it. I call that dress my date night dress. And I have been saving that dress for when I meet someone that I felt was worthy of it. When I meet
Uh-huh.
someone that I want to go on a whole ass date for, when I meet someone that I really like and I want to, look like you could take me home to your mother. So, so I'd been saving that dress and they knew it. They knew about the date night dress.
Mhm.
And I hadn't wore it yet. And I remember when I was figuring out what outfit I want to wear, I was like, there is no one more deserving of this dress than my best friends. And I got all decked out for them because they had been there for me through one of the hardest times of my life. Going through my divorce was so difficult. Finding myself, realizing that like all of these red flags and boundaries I need to set up was so hard. And they were there for me. And I was like, the very least I could do is give them my date night dress. And I put some black tights on. I put y'all have heard about my fuck me boots. I have these like bless you. I have
Thank
these
you.
these black thick heel, high heel boots that I wore with it. I had my makeup looked fire. Y'all, I looked fine as shit. Let's be honest. I
Yes.
looked fine as shit. Continue with the story.
Yes. So I'm glad she gave you that background because I didn't forget, but I knew that the dress was significant, but I was going to gloss
Oh,
over it. So
and I
I'm glad
still haven't worn it. So they are the only ones that have experienced that dress.
who have seen it. Yes. I
I'm
saw it.
saving that
Yes.
for the
I saw
perfect
it in the
date.
flesh.
Mhm.
I saw it in the flesh, guys. I saw the dress. I'd seen it in pictures. I know about the date night dress in pictures, but I was like, I saw it in the flesh, in the on the person. And I remember, yeah, she was decked out, and I was like, number one, thank God that I got dressed. And because I was like, girl, I'm so glad I didn't bum it because I was going to. Anywho, so she's decked out, fully like dressed in an outfit, a significant special outfit, makeup and hair done. And then we go into the kitchen, and then turns out she made some cheesecakes. And I was like, okay, so you made the cheesecakes today. And then later, so this is what the plan was. We're gonna go to the drive-in, and then we were going to like, with her car, we're gonna like park. Was it called like reverse or whatever? Park the other way so we could
Yeah.
open up the back and we could sit in the back and eat our little like food and everything and watch the movie and have our little.
Because we went to Berkeley to go pick up some of our favorite foods.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, that was the best part. So, cause I love that place. So, yeah, we were gonna have our little food or dinner, and then have our like the movie and put our little blankets and a whole bunch of pillows in the back. So, it sounds really cute, right? And so in my head, I was like, yeah, it's really cute. But I guess I didn't, in my brain, process it until I saw it. And then she had made cheesecakes. Then she had already cleaned the car too. She already had planned out what pillows we were gonna grab. She already knew what blankets we were gonna have, where we were gonna go for dinner. And I was like, I was so blown away. I was so blown away because I was like, you mean to tell me that while I was at work, I was out here just working and whatever, right? Zoning the hell out. You are here at home. You cleaned the car, you did the cakes, you got ready, and then you came up with the idea. Because the idea was her idea. Like, I can't say that we came up with all three of us. No, it was her idea, and you came up with the idea already. And all I had to do was get dressed and show up. And I was like, I feel like I don't deserve Daniela. Like, that's what I thought. I was like,
Listen,
I feel like
y'all,
I don't deserve
I am daddy.
that was a whole ass wife. That was a whole ass wife. What is like, my brain, I realized it makes sense why you were married. This is somebody's dream. You mean to tell me that when I come home, and how would I come home to you, this is what you have? You have all this prepared for Valentine's Day? What? I would feel like I'm not deserving if I was like somebody who's married to you. And I realized, oh my God, this makes perfect sense why you were married. Like, that was a moment that I realized it. Then, our other friend showed up, and then we did our little gift exchange, and it was so cute. I love that, Adriana got me flowers, and I was like, oh my God, I actually got flowers on Valentine's Day. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I think that was one of the couple of times first times that I hung out with Adriana. And the fact that
I think
she
I got you
got
guys
me
flowers
flowers.
too, right?
Yeah, I believe, yes. Oh my
Yes,
God.
I
Yes,
got
you
flowers too.
did.
Yeah, I
Yes,
was
she got me
listen, y'all.
flowers too.
I gave them the Valentine's Day. Listen, I go ham. The reason I'm so obsessed with my
Mm-hmm.
birthday and all that stuff is because I like to go ham for others. If you are good to me, you are kind to me, and all of this stuff, like, you are gonna get the most loving person that you've ever met. I really,
Mm-hmm.
I strive to make sure that the people that I love know just how much I love them. I baked 2 fucking cakes that day. I went to go get
Yep.
flowers. I cleaned my car. I have a dog, y'all. That shit took forever. I had to use 2 different vacuums, and it's okay. It's worth the effort. And then all the pillows, and we went to Gypsy's, which is like one of our favorite Italian
Mm-hmm.
restaurants in Berkeley. We were looking. Oh my God, I totally forgot that as we were walking, some guy said some stupid shit to us, and I told him to go fuck off.
Yes. So I'm saying she did everything. Yes, she cleaned
I
the
also
car. She baked the
defended
cakes.
them.
Yeah, she defended us too. It was the best thing ever. I remember that, like, afterward, I was like, oh my God, this was the best Valentine's Day ever. We watched Birds of Prey.
Yes.
That is one of my favorite movies, and I think it's because it's tied to the memory.
Same.
Because it was such a great night. Like, Yeah, she drove us around. I don't know if I mentioned that already. She drove us. So we went to her house and then she drove us to Berkeley, and then we got our food, and then we went to the drive-in, and it was so cute. We sat around with our blankets, provided also by Daniela, because again, didn't bring Jack. So I really felt like I didn't deserve it.
And that's the thing. I didn't expect you guys to bring anything. I didn't expect you
Yeah.
guys to even get gifts. I didn't expect you guys to get decked out. I had no expectation of you guys. I just wanted you guys to show you guys how much I love you and how much I appreciate you. So just because you don't have a significant other for Valentine's Day, guys, it doesn't mean you can't go out for your girlfriends. That was the best Valentine's Day I've ever had in my
Me too.
life. And honestly, I feel bad for the people that we end up with, because look what they got to compete with. One, they have to compete with me, and two, for you, they got to compete with me.
Yeah, I
set the bar way too high that night.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if anyone's ever gonna top that. And
You know who will? You know who will?
Yeah.
Me.
You'll top it. Yeah, I said, but
I
said top that memory, because like that was, again, remember how we talked about how I felt with building it up to be something big, building it, and then I felt like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. That night really did fulfill me in a different way, and I realized, holy shit, what that feeling that I thought I was going to get from an SO, I got from a friend. I got from my best friends, like from a night that no one, like I didn't expect to get flowers. Adriana got me flowers. That was so significant to me. We hardly knew each other, and I got her a gift too, because I was like, I don't want to like just,
I think this was the first time y'all were meeting too, right?
I think one of the first times that we met, I believe. I think this was the first time.
This was the first time. Yeah. We had our friendship got brought together by my trauma. And I created a group chat for the three of us, because I was really scared going on dates, and so I used to always send them my location and send them the name of the person and where I was and all that stuff, in case anything happened, in case I needed something. So I created a group chat, and we started bonding on that group chat. And then we became friends. Well, I mean, I was already friends with both of them, but then they became friends, and then we went on this date. And then during the pandemic, we've really just been there for each other.
Yeah, and like I said, like the group chat has become like a little sacred place. I love it. And yeah, that was first time. Yeah, this was our first time meeting. And I remember when I got gifts. Of course, I got Daniela a gift, and I thought I'm gonna get her something. I don't know her, but I'm gonna get something for her too, because I think it'd be nice to get a gift, right? And that's what I thought, just to give one. But then when she got me flowers, so significant to get someone you don't know flowers. It was beautiful, and I was like, this is. I'm sorry, I hate to say this, like, wow, but like that tops any time anyone's ever given me flowers, because I thought that was beautiful and thoughtful to get somebody you don't know flowers just because you thought it'd be nice to give them flowers. It was so cute. And
she is probably one of the nicest people I know as well.
Same. And so I thought that was significant and like so nice. And so I was like, wow, I got that fulfilling feeling from receiving flowers from somebody that is my friend, one of my best, good friends now, right? But like at the time I didn't really know her. So I was like, I got the fulfilling feeling from not even an SO. And then the same thing, I remember we were at Gypsies and we saw people on their dates, and it made me so happy. It makes me happy still. We got that separation I needed from the Valentine's Day thing. Having our Galentine's Day thing we did really allowed me to have this appreciation for Valentine's Day, just objectively, not even because I want someone. I remember seeing the girls on their dates and everybody just getting so dressed up, and how everybody was wearing outfits.
It was so cute.
It was cute. Everyone that I saw that was wearing makeup, I wanted to be like, your makeup looks so nice. You look so good today. I wanted to tell them that. And I'm like, girl, what drugs are you on? I was like, where's you want to socialize and tell people this, but everyone that I saw dressed up, like they just look so cute and so nice, and I thought that's so beautiful to get dressed up for a date. That's so, because I was feeling it, because I got dressed up for this date, right? And Daniela got dressed up, and I was like, that is such a beautiful feeling to want to get just dressed up for the moment. That's so beautiful. Like that's effort, right? And like that's nice. And so I was so happy. And then we went, once we go watch the movie, we sat in the back under like the blankets and like ate our food. We had Gypsies. It's one of my favorite. It's pasta. It's one of my favorite pasta places. So good. It's so good.
If you haven't been there, you need to go there. Also, if you're expecting it to be some fancy ass restaurant, it's not, but it is delicious. You walk up, you order at the counter, you sit down if there's a seat. It's always full. It's been #1 Italian restaurant in Berkeley for about more than 15 years at this point. It is delicious. You have to check it out. This is non-sponsored, but it should be.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, because it was so good. So yeah, I don't even know what I had. What did we get? I know we got a drink, because I remember I almost spilled my drink in your car. But I know we had a drink.
I think we got the drink at the drive-in.
Oh, we did,
Because
because
we
I
got
remember I had it
popcorn.
lit. I was like, where did I was like, what? Yes, and we got popcorn. And
Because I
guys, you
love
should have seen
popcorn.
the yeah, we should have seen the arrangement. It was so cute. We got the big thing of popcorn so we could all eat and
Yeah.
share very
I
like
think we're
cute couple
actually
goals.
posting the pictures that we took that night, at least of
Hmm.
me and you on after this podcast, either the day that this podcast comes out or the weekend on Valentine's Day. But y'all will see that
Yeah,
picture. So keep an
y'all
eye
will
out
see
for
it.
that.
And you'll see the setup. It was the cutest thing ever. It was my fave, probably one of my favorite memories. And it was, yeah, it was the best thing ever. And I really, when I went home, after Daniela dropped me off, because she did that too. After Daniela dropped me off, I was like, wow, this was the best Valentine's Day I ever had. I didn't feel pressure from anyone because Daniela wasn't expecting anything from me except for to just show up. And like, I didn't feel pressure from anyone. I didn't feel like, oh, I wish I was with a boyfriend. I didn't at all. I was genuinely happy to be with them and like, share Valentine's Day and how cute it was. It was honestly, I don't think anyone could have came up with this idea. It had to had to be from the mind of Daniela, because I couldn't think, how did you come up with this idea to do this? It was so cute at the drive-in to put the car like this so that we could chill in the back. I wouldn't have thought about that. I really wouldn't have. I would have parked the car just regularly and been like, okay, we're here. And this is why I'm single, guys.
I like to. I'm a hopeless romantic. I
It
really
was the
am.
cutest thing ever.
Y'all, one day we're gonna talk about the promposals I did, because you think that I let someone propose to me? Nah. Honestly, at this point, I think that if I ever get married again, I might be, if they don't beat me to it, I might be the one to propose. I might be, because I just am that bitch. I really am. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into our friendship quiz. This turned into the episode that got hijacked by the importance of Valentine's Day outside of love, which I'm here for. I think that's so important.
And self-love and
we're gonna do a
quality,
few
whatever else
questions.
we talked about. Yes, let's do a
Exactly.
few questions. Oh my God, I realized that.
Okay, so I will pose the question and we can take turns answering. And it's just going to be essentially kind of like a how well do we know each other type
Okay.
questions. Okay.
Okay.
I copied like, God, what is it? Like about 36 questions. We're not going to do all 36.
Mhm.
I didn't like go through all of these questions. I looked at some of them. So I'm just going to ask the ones that I think are appropriate. And as I'm feeling inspired, I might ask a few other ones. Okay.
Okay.
So, first of all, what color are my eyes?
They are, you like to call them dark chocolate. So they are dark chocolate.
And then without looking at you, I will say your eyes are black, right?
They're black,
brown.
yeah.
Okay.
They're brown, but they come off as black. If I'm like, I can sit here and be like, they're brown guys, but everybody watching this podcast is like, what is she talking about? They're like black.
Same for me. That's why I call them dark chocolate, because they're like brown, but they look black.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was not even a question. I just kind of wanted to do that. All right. We're gonna start with a dark one.
Okay.
What am I most afraid of? I think there's a variety of answers, but feel free to go very real with this. Very real with this.
Okay. Let me try to think.
Remember, I'm an open book, so
I'm trying to think. It's because what I originally thought was your fear. You faced it, your biggest fear, and I was like, never mind then. That's not your biggest fear.
But you could tell the audience what it was, because there was one.
Originally I would have said clowns, but she actually faced her fear of clowns, and that's not longer the biggest fear.
I still kind of struggle with it, but like I used to have panic attacks just from seeing them, like for real.
Yeah,
it was really, really bad.
Yeah, but she's like been doing so great with that. Like honestly, like we have been to like, Spirit during Halloween time and there's clowns all over the place and she's not scared at all. So you know what? It's like, yeah, I'd say that's like off the table now. I'm going to say death. I'm going to say you're afraid of dying.
No, girl, I'm
Guys.
suicidal.
Yeah,
I'm not right now. Not right now, but no, I really wanted to die. I'm actually not afraid of death.
True.
I'm not afraid of death. I will answer yours while you actually no. Do you want to give it another try, or do you want me to tell you what I am?
Let me try to think. I'm like, okay, if it's not something physical like dying, because I know you have that thing where you prepare for the worst case scenario, and the worst case scenario obviously it would be someone harming you.
But why do I prepare for the worst case scenario?
Why?
What about that makes me afraid?
You are afraid.
I said it earlier today.
You are afraid to not be able to defend yourself? Is that what it is?
close.
Control.
There it is.
You're afraid to lose control?
I'm afraid to lose control. That is my biggest fear.
Okay.
It takes power of a
Okay.
lot of things. I am so afraid to lose control of a situation. So
Mm-hmm.
that is also sometimes why I stay quiet, because I don't know what will happen if I speak up in a situation, and I'm not sure that I can control that. I like to be in control.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to control people, but I have that fear of losing control of myself, losing control of a situation. I am obsessed with worst case scenario, so that I can
Mm-hmm.
gain control however I can in a situation. And that's in control of like my safety, in control of like, I'm very afraid of losing control.
Mm-hmm.
That's one I'm working on as well. That one's really hard for me.
You're right. Wow.
I would say your biggest fear. Hmm, I think I feel like there's one deeper than this, but I'm inclined to say
Mm-hmm.
throw up.
There definitely is one deeper than that. Yeah, but
I
I'd
think
say
it's
throw up is pretty up there.
or like medical procedures. I
No,
don't know why I think that dying might be it.
that's it.
It's dying?
Yeah,
Okay.
dying is one of them. Yeah, I because the rationale behind that is I love to live. I love to be alive, and I love to be able to do all the things that I can while I'm alive.
Mhm.
And if I die, what happens then? And I know
Yeah.
that there's comfort in death. Like, where do we go here? Or like, no, there's all these things. But to me, it makes you think, I would really, if I died today, I would really miss even just listening to music. I
Yeah.
would really miss
I
being able.
I can understand that. I'm not afraid of the reason I don't say I'm afraid of death, because like I can understand why you thought I was afraid of death, because
Mhm.
I don't actually want to die, even though sometimes I've wanted
Yeah.
to die. But because I grew up with someone who you could not even say someone was getting older. And so that taught me to get over that, to be
Hmm.
okay with the unknown. But
Yeah.
I grew up with someone who you could not talk about people dying. You could not talk about getting
Hmm.
older. You couldn't talk about having to go to, it was to the point where we couldn't talk about them going to school the next year because they felt like it was closer to dying. Like every year that
Yeah,
passed, everything
that's
that
a
happened.
hard one.
So
I
I
don't
had
know
to
if I've
let
ever
that one
had it.
go.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had it to that intense phobia, but definitely I do have that fear thing or that sadness here whenever it's about dying or whenever I think to myself, damn, if I, and again, sometimes that thought comes into my brain sometimes as I'm driving and it's raining and I
Mhm.
think, I'd be so sad if my car like swerved off the road right now and this is how I die. Like so I always have that in it. I think that's one of those things that definitely think death is the deeper one. The emetophobia, the fear of throwing up. That's actually, yeah, that's actually a thing, guys. Like, yeah, I have a fear of people throwing up. What's funny about that is talk about the control, right? Apparently emetophobia is something that usually stems from control too, because I don't have fear of someone throwing up because that also is bad. I fear of throw up in general. I personally don't want to throw up either.
Mhm.
And that's because you can't control it, right? You can't control if you're going to throw up. You can't suppress it. It happens, it's happening. And I don't like that. And that's where the actual issue comes from. And same with other people. I'm not in control if the other person throws up or not. So it like triggers me too. So yeah, I'd say that one was a very close one, but the deeper one is definitely death. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next
Yeah.
question.
Mm.
Um, what would I consider to be my greatest accomplishment?
Okay. Your greatest
This is
accomplishment is getting divorced. Uh
yes.
yeah, yeah. You chose yourself. You chose yourself, yeah.
I was actually about to give it away by saying, and people would think this is controversial.
No,
Um,
I know already. Because again, there you've had a lot of accomplishments, but you would say the biggest accomplishment you had was getting divorced. And I think it's just what you said. It's symbolic to you. You chose yourself. You saved yourself, you know? And so I think that was that's significant. And of course that's your biggest accomplishment. Yeah. I
yeah,
also view it that way too.
something that I don't talk about. I for whatever reason this was on my mind this morning. It was on my mind. It
Mm-hmm.
was really really heavy on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the it's funny how when you're in an abusive relationship, the abuse can be
Mm-hmm.
so intense that even when you're no longer in the relationship, they still have control over you. You're still afraid, because I have been afraid to say those words in relation to my marriage. And I thought about that a lot this morning. I thought about that, like I thought about that a lot, and how I always get so scared.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to dive into that today, but I
Of
always get so,
course.
and what that means, because I should note there are see, this is that control happening right now too, because I'm going to say that
Definitely.
there's many different versions of abuse, almost like, why am I still protecting them? Like,
Hmm.
why am I
I
protecting
think.
them? Like, but yeah, no, that is my biggest accomplishment, because I walked the fuck away
Hmm.
from an abusive relationship. I chose myself first. I chose to love myself, and I am so much happier. And unfortunately, I was a bit depressed this year, but it had a lot to do, it had to do with other things, but it did
Hmm.
have some to do with coming to terms with finally accepting that that was my reality. I didn't want to accept it because it made me fearful of what that meant. And it
Hmm.
and it meant a lot of things. And it's been a huge accomplishment, because it has changed me for the better. It has made me grow. It has brought me so much light and love for myself in my life. Like, that is, yeah, hell yeah.
I agree.
I would say your biggest accomplishment. I'm not sure if I'm right about this
Hmm.
one, but I feel like you might say that this is your biggest
Hmm.
accomplishment. And I feel like it sounds like a, yeah, duh kind of
Hmm.
thing. But I would say your biggest accomplishment is your BA in psychology.
Yeah. I'd say definitely. I think that's fair. In my head, I was thinking, do I have a biggest accomplishment? But I'm like, yeah, I'd say that because for me, school, like I always talk about school being like, it was pretty easy for me. But what I would say is one of the things that is symbolic to me is definitely my BA. And I know people say, oh, well, like everybody gets a BA. It was symbolic because a lot of things happened while I was in school. A lot of hard things and bad things in my life happened. And I still pushed through and I did it by myself because I never had anyone help me. I never had anyone. I never had guidance from like a counselor. Or I know that I should be, should have asked for help and everything, but for whatever reason, I never did. And but point is that the fact that I was still able to put myself through school, having nobody help me, nobody helped me out with college apps, nobody ever helped me out with what I should do. What major should I go for? It was completely. It was a ship completely sailed by me. I sailed that ship by myself. And at the end you get your BA and everything. So the BA to me, yeah, I took myself to school, but symbolizes for me is what's most important is that it's something that I did by myself. I didn't have anybody help me with that, and it was I had to figure it out on my own because I was the first in this house to go in my household to go to university. So I didn't even have anyone guide me there or tell me what I should be looking for. How do I transfer to a university? How do I? So yeah, I'm the first in my family to have a BA, and I had to navigate that on my own. All my and I always felt so. I felt like my biggest accomplishment, but I always felt like it was our biggest accomplishment as my family and stuff because they worked hard to really try to put me through school, and it's we really came from nothing. So it was a very big accomplishment. So yeah, I definitely would say my BA in psychology is my biggest accomplishment. Yeah.
Nice. Isn't it
Mhm.
crazy how our biggest accomplishments are things that we felt like we did on our own? Like, how much doing something for yourself can really make you feel extremely fulfilled.
Yeah, it was something that yeah, because I was very and nobody steered me in any way. Like I said, like I was very independent and it made me feel very independent of my own future and what I wanted to do. And again, it gave me a lot of control over what I wanted to do because I had nobody help me. So I was completely in charge of my own destiny, and it
Mhm.
was great. So yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Okay, next question. This one's not
Hmm.
on the list. I just thought of it and I was like, this is hilarious. I like
Yeah.
this one. Okay, so you have alcoholics, drug addicts, things like that. People have
Uh-huh.
addictions. If you had to pick something as my addiction, what would you say is my addiction? I feel like just say
I
whatever you're
I
gonna.
have I have two.
Go
I have
ahead.
two.
Go ahead. I'm open. I don't know what you're gonna say, but I get the feeling. Go ahead.
Well, actually, could I narrow it down to, you know what? I could narrow it down to one because I feel like the second one, which I'll get into, is a deviation from that first
Okay.
one. Attention. Attention. Yeah. Because originally I was sorry about that.
No worries. You're good.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, originally I was going to say sex, but I think that it was yeah, I was going to say I think that was a form of like attention as well because that is a deviation. So I think it stems from like attention and not like in a like again I guess if I had to pick something, I feel like you seem very fulfilled by like like, attention and stuff like that. And so I think that whenever something fulfills you a lot, I think that is also a slippery slope into like addiction. So that's what I would pick. Yeah, I would pick
You know
that.
what?
Yeah.
I think that you're right because I
Yeah.
hadn't even thought about that. I was gonna say, God, what the fuck was I gonna say? What am I addicted to?
You're gonna say work or something?
Maybe, yeah, work or hair dye
No.
would have been one
Oh
from
my
my
god,
hair
something.
from,
So
huh?
you were picking things that are so like surface level, and I really was like deep stuff. Okay.
You know what?
Sex.
I had a feeling you were gonna say sex.
Okay.
That's why I was like, you know what? Be open. It's fine. No, okay. So addiction to attention, yeah, 100%. Because I was talking about earlier, I go all out for people. The reason it's not that I want to be the center of attention. That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
It's that when people give me attention, I want more. I feed
Mm-hmm.
off of it. I love the feeling I get from, oh no, I do love it. I love it so much. I love it when people are just so needy and clingy towards me to an extent. To an extent,
Mm-hmm.
because Aquarius, right? But it just makes me feel special
Yeah,
because
you seem very fulfilled. Yeah.
I like to make people feel special. So when people are like, I want to give you all of my time, attention, and adoration, when someone remembers me, and it doesn't even have to be like hella shit. It could just be like, on my birthday, you made a post about me or something, and I'm just like, it makes me feel really special. It makes me feel like someone. I always feel so insignificant. I always feel so forgotten. No matter how loud and out there I am, I still feel
Mhm.
that way. So yeah, wow, that's a. You know what I was gonna say for you?
Yeah, I know.
Shopping.
Yeah. Material things.
She always wants me to enable her shopping, but I'm not an enabler. So sometimes I'm like, okay, Daniela, pull from the bag of Jennifer. What would Jennifer say to her to enable herself? I am not
Yeah.
an enabler. She always is like, I went to the store and bought 500 things that I didn't need, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna return half of them, and then goes to the
Yes.
and buys 500 more things. And
Yeah,
it's
it's dangerous. Actually, I have an item right here that I bought. It has makeup on it, guys, so don't judge me. I did not need this, but I wanted it. It's a little blender and it's called the marshmallow blender. This is marketing at its finest. I understand this is just a square cylindrical like blender, but it got me. It's light pink. It looks like a marshmallow. Yeah, this is one of the things that happened. I went to return something at Ulta and came back with this and a couple of other things too. So yeah, that I would tell that was an easy one. I think that one was like obviously it's material things or
Mhm.
shopping. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we should clarify that we don't think that there's anything wrong with the addictions that we have. I don't think that
Yeah.
there's anything wrong with her
Again,
being a
you said
shopaholic.
if we had to pick an addiction. Yeah.
Exactly.
So exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, okay. So, next part.
Hmm.
Describe my perfect day.
Okay, your perfect day. Okay. So usually you try to have your perfect days, or the day that I'm taking the structure from is actually a birthday, because I know you try to have the perfect day on your birthday. So I'm
Okay.
taking the structure from that.
Okay.
So your perfect day would include some kind of physical activity, because you like physical activities. You like hiking or something like that, right? Like something that's either outdoorsy or like a physical activity that's like really fulfills you and you like, because you like movement and stuff like that. So definitely a day that includes that. I don't think that your perfect day would not include either dance or hiking or walking or going for like some kind of physical activity. So yes, I would say your perfect day includes physical activity, good food, because you love food too, and you're a good foodie. So yeah, definitely like you involve like your favorite food or good food that, because I don't think you say you're picky, but I actually feel like you don't discriminate that
I
much.
used to think I was picky, but the problem was that we didn't deviate from a lot of the things that we had at my house. So we didn't have
Mhm.
much of a variety. So once I became a foodie, I realized, oh, I'm not picky. I just wasn't exposed to very much as a kid. And it just so happened that the stuff that was at my house, it just so happened I didn't like a lot of it.
Mhm.
Sorry,
So
mom. I
yeah,
love you, mom.
right. And so like so yes, I would say food that you like or you love, because I say you like a lot of food. So yeah, that's what else would it include? Attention, like we just talked about. It would include attention, adoration. It would include your outfit or your look that you feel your best self in. Because I think that definitely is important to you, to look how you like to look. Whether that is, like light makeup, whether that is full beat, whether that's a bomb outfit, whether that's whatever you feel, but that an outfit that you feel or a look that you feel comfortable and you feel your best self in. What else would it include? It would include that's another one. Some spiritual shit. It would include some kind of like spiritual shit, some kind of like yeah, I don't know what else to describe it as because I'm not spiritual. Like so, yeah, I would include some like spiritual shit, like some kind of meditation, some kind of like yeah, that kind of stuff. It would include that. What else did it include?
You could pull in my addiction.
Oh, it would include sex. It
Your
would
girl
include
loves
that.
birthdays.
Yeah, would include that. What else? That's all I can think of. Yeah, that's the special day with
Mhm.
because I noticed that I didn't put gifts in there because I think that goes along with I think again adoration and attention stuff. I think again the Facebook post or
Yeah.
the little Instagram post. I
I
do think
think I think the only
fill that
part you
out.
were missing is because I'm an extrovert, it would include my favorite people.
Oh yeah, I forgot
It would
people.
include my
Yeah,
family. It
of
would
course I
include
overlooked
you,
that.
Adriana. It would include a dinner. It would include because normally on the day of my birthday I have a dinner,
Mhm.
and now that I'm in the Latin dance scene, it also includes going out dancing if
The
possible.
physical
When I get
activity. Yeah.
Yeah, but a different physical activity because
Uh
dancing
huh.
for me isn't like my physical activity,
Hmm.
it's like my release. But that's pretty spot on. That's really spot on. That's the plan for the day of my birthday. I'm trying to figure that out. I might actually go live on WAF or on something the day of my birthday because I kind of want to just like celebrate with y'all. I'm not sure yet.
Hmm.
We'll find out by then. Your perfect day.
Yes.
Let's This one I think is a little harder because
Yes.
it's definitely outside of my comfort and the general people's comfort zone. But I almost wanted to say that you would sleep in, but then I'm like, no, she's kind of a morning person. So I think that you would get
Hmm.
up at a moderate time that you have rested well enough
Yes.
and you would go get
I'd go to bed early.
yes, you'd go to bed early
Yeah.
the night before so that you can still get up early and take
Hmm.
advantage of the day.
Hmm.
But yours would not be as social. I think that you would go have breakfast, but you would get like a Starbucks or something, or maybe your favorite, like you'd go to Bear Claw and get your favorite breakfast.
Hmm.
You would put on not just one outfit. You would have yourself a whole fashion show on a
Hmm.
day that you're feeling good about your body and good about your skin. Your perfect day would include you
Hmm.
not feeling any kind of body dysmorphia because
Agree.
I know that for you that can really and I've felt it too personally. It can really ruin someone's day, and
Yes.
so you would not be feeling body dysmorphic. You would have
Mhm.
put on multiple outfits. You would listen to music. Let's see, what else the hell would you do? Now I think you would also go to Animal Crossing La La Land and be by yourself.
Yes, I
Um,
gave.
I think it would involve some good chisme. Your perfect day would involve some good chisme. And I'm not talking about that chisme. I would say your good day would experience that chisme. And I'm not going to talk about what kind of chisme that is because that's your prerogative, but it would involve some good chisme. And then it would also involve a phone call with me afterwards to talk and dissect the fuck out of that chisme. I think that it would be a day that you have like chocolates and sweets.
Mhm.
I think that it would be a great hair day. I don't actually think you would go out like necessarily. I don't see your perfect day being a day where you're like, oh, I went to this. Oh, you might go shopping. That's if you do anything, you would go shopping on your great day. You would get some really cute outfits. You would get all of these things that you like. You would only vamp up further the Pink Palace and then exist in the Pink Palace alone.
Agreed. So honestly, I'd say you're pretty spot on. The sweets was spot on because, and also getting something like my favorite breakfast thing by myself. Agreed. Because yeah, I would go to Bear Claw and get my favorite things that I get. My favorite, like I would usually okay. So on my perfect day in my brain, let's say my birthday, right? What I would
Yeah.
do is I would get up by myself and go to where I think to myself, where is the best chai I've ever had?
Mhm.
Where is the best food that I personally like, no matter if it's plain or whatever, right? Like what's the food that I like that I love. And so like I would think, Bear Claw, they have a panini that I like and they have a chai that I like. And so
Mhm.
that's my favorite place to always go. I actually haven't had it in a long time. I realized that when you said that, I was like, oh, I haven't had it in a long time. But
Mhm.
that's where I'd go because that is the best chai I've ever had. And one of the best little like eating things that I genuinely enjoy eating because I think I've talked about this before that sometimes I do struggle with like eating and stuff. That's like that's on picky eating and also on eating disorder things.
Mhm.
So I definitely like I struggle eating sometimes, and that's one of the meals that I would definitely have and not have to feel like any kind of way. I have and I genuinely enjoy it. So I would do that. I agree with you. Multiple outfits, yes, for multiple activities because you best believe I would to go shopping. The only thing about downside about shopping is the Animal Crossing thing too. I wish I could shop alone. There's a lot of people in stores, and that's the one thing that makes me be like, okay, if I went shopping, I'd have to really think about where I'm
It
gonna
would
go.
have to be while, well, see, for whatever reason, the perfect
Mhm.
day, you also wouldn't be working that day, and you would
Yes,
do that shopping during people's work hours. It would be a
exactly.
weekday. Your perfect day would not be a weekend. It would be
No,
a weekday so that you could avoid people more.
yeah, so that I could be by
Whereas my
myself.
perfect day would be a weekend so that
Yes,
I could see all the people I want to see.
yeah, so my perfect day, if I had to put a name to my perfect days, are Fridays. If you guys are wondering why Feel Good Friday, Friday is my favorite day because it's close to the weekend, right?
Mhm.
But it's a weekend. It's still a weekday, so it's like I'm still alone. So if I go to the store, I'm alone, and
Mhm.
like it's one of my favorite days is Friday. So
Yeah. No,
yes,
my perfect day is a Saturday. That's why we don't work that day because of
yes.
it.
Feel Good Fridays, yeah, the days that I feel the best are Fridays because yeah, it's I can do this plan, I can do this because there won't be anyone. Because see, I could even go to the outdoors and there's no people. It'll be like Animal Crossing where I was outdoors there, but I was away from people. So yeah, that's like one of my favorite things. I definitely think you're pretty spot on. The only thing that was like wavering on was the shopping things. I'm like, it depends on what day it is because I wouldn't go shopping if it's crowded. I will not go. I don't care. But I will have multiple outfits. Like for the breakfast outfit, I'm wearing something chill. I definitely for breakfast I'm gonna do something like this, like no makeup and whatever. And then for me to go shopping and go to TJ Maxx, I'm gonna throw on the outfit, even though I'm going nowhere just to go shop. I'm gonna throw on the outfit to go shop. So yes, I agree with you. I think you're pretty spot on with that one too. Oh yes, but the one thing you did miss out, I just saw it in my camera right now, is my plants. I spend some time with them.
Oh, that's
I
true.
definitely would.
It's my bad. I forgot. Out of sight, out of mind. We haven't been
Yeah.
talking about them so much these days.
Yeah, I'd spend some time with them. Probably play some music for them. Probably set them. This sounds crazy, guys. I know what I'm about to reveal is crazy. All right. So what I did, I believe, at some point during the pandy. Oh, I did it for Halloween. I had a Halloween party in here, and you know who my guests were? Were my plushies and my plants. I moved them around. I sat them in different parts of my room. I know y'all are like, she's crazy.
No,
I
it's
sat
so
them in different parts
cute.
of the room, and I had made cupcakes for obviously for me, right? And they were at my Halloween party. So yeah, that's what I would do. I'd probably rearrange them and put them in different places so that I feel like I'm at a party. But the great thing about plushies and plants, plushies and plants, I like that. They don't talk. So I don't gotta
That
talk
is
to
the
them.
most introverted thing you
Yeah.
said. It's funny. I'm an extrovert, but like I low key hate people. So like I can understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. Next question. It's a deviation from a question I just saw.
Okay.
If um your house was burning, if my house was burning down, the question is if your house was burning down and
Mm-hmm.
you could only take 3 things. Actually, let's give it a little more. 5
Mm-hmm.
things. You
Mm-hmm.
only had time to grab 5 things. What are the 5 things that I would grab?
Okay. So are we okay? Things.
Not
Okay.
including not including pets, I should say.
Okay. I'll say, are
Not
we gonna
including
grab
pets.
candy? I'm like, I know you'd grab candy. So, all
Yeah.
right, what would you grab? All right. So, for sure, first two off the bat, we can combine them into one or the first two things. Your phone, computer, because that's work stuff. And you, even in a burning down situation, you'd be like, work, I have the video to edit. I got the dance stuff.
You're
No,
right. You're so right. I didn't even think of that, but I was like, "Oh, she's so right."
work stuff. You would grab that work stuff, whether that's like, no, the phone or the computer, for sure. For sure. Everything else, go can go, but like as long as you got the work that you need, you're gonna grab that. So then the other three things, this is a harder one. I don't know what you would grab in a burning house, because this is another thing y'all should know. We talked about Daniela liking gifts, but she really doesn't like material things. I can't be like, you
I
grab
have
your
a lot
favorite
of
sweater.
things, but
I
I
would
can
not.
live without most of them.
Yeah,
But
like
I
yeah,
have the 3 things in my head.
I would never be like, you would grab your like favorite sweater. You would not. You let that burn. So let me try to think. What would you grab? Sentimental value
Mhm.
that you could not replace.
Feel free to
Sentimental.
speak some things in code if for whatever reason I don't.
Okay. I'm trying to think of sentimental value. What could you not replace? What I'm
That's
trying
a
to think.
key word. That is key
Yeah.
because
What could
I'm
you not
everything
replace?
else I'm like I could replace that.
You could. You'd let everything burn down except for these three things. These three things. I'm like, okay. You grab your phone, computer, and then what would you grab that you couldn't replace? I'm trying to think of all the things you have
And let's
hanging in
assume
your
that my
room.
computer has a hard drive attached to it.
Let's assume that when a computer, I mean the wires too, like all your chargers and everything. Yeah, so like all that, the phone charger too, that and comes in with the work stuff. So
Mhm.
you would definitely grab those two things. What could you not replace? I'm trying to think of the things you have hanging in your room, the things you have around you on your. Oh, you'd grab Elmo.
Yes.
You'd save him. You definitely would save him.
I've had Elmo
Um,
since my first birthday. You think I'm gonna let him go? Hell, I would absolutely be devastated. I would cry like a little fucking baby.
if he burned, yeah. So you're not letting him burn. So you would grab him. That's three. So we got two more things. Sentimental value. What do you have that or that was given to you that um I'm not sure about this one because I feel like you could replace it if you really wanted to. Pictures?
There's a specific one. And
Specific picture.
yeah, a specific picturesque thing.
Picturesque. So it's not a picture. Picturesque. Damn, this is so hard. I'm trying to think. Okay, we're gonna deviate from the pictures because I don't think I can think of the pictures.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of your desk area. What would you grab from the desk area? Would you grab something practical? I'm trying to think. Oh, what about dance stuff? But you could replace that too.
Save again. This is the hard
Yeah.
part.
Oh, your journals. You'd grab your journals. You cannot replace those. So last thing is okay, last thing you gotta think of.
Yeah,
You'd grab your
that
journals.
picturesque thing you gotta think of.
Yeah, it's a picturesque thing. What would that be? I'm trying to think of all the things hanging in your room. And the pictures in your room.
Do you want me to give it to you?
Yeah, give it to me because I don't know that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, I almost want to say all of my pictures, but
Uh-huh.
I have way too many pictures, and
Mhm.
that's not five things. So if I had to pick a picture that I absolutely could not live without because I cannot have it replaced,
Mhm.
it's the little dish thing that we got for when my grandma passed away. That's broken. You remember,
Oh.
it got my ex accidentally broke it. It was an accident. It was
Uh-huh.
an accident, but it fell down and it broke. And I was heartbroken. I cried. And it's still the picture itself is intact, but the rest of it is kind of messed up. I would grab that. I would grab my grandmother's picture. That one I would absolutely be devastated. Yeah. And with my journals, hell yeah, I hadn't thought about all of my journals, but I would grab all of my journals. But there is one specific journal that I would absolutely cry if I didn't. It's a journal that I'm like currently working on. It's very special to me. It's very near and dear to my heart, and I would be devastated if that journal got lost in a fire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I think you
Yeah,
would
because
grab.
everything else I can replace. When you said
You
dance
can.
stuff, I was like, I could buy all of that stuff
You
again.
could buy it again.
I almost, when you said the work stuff, I thought, oh my God, all of my equipment. But I was like, I could just buy all of that. But you're right, my phone, because my whole life is on here. So that's my
Mhm.
workaholic ways makes me want to get my phone so that I could also,
Yeah.
it's like and then my laptop, because there's a lot of things on here too, including the video from my grandmother's funeral, which I need to put on my hard
Ooh.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's like a little fly around here. I was like, what is this?
You're good.
Yeah.
For you, your five
Hard one.
things, I think that you would definitely grab something from your grandma's altar that you made, whether
Mhm.
that's like the main picture. I think that you would also grab, I think you have a cadenita that
Mhm.
is like, it's either from your grandma or your mom. I
Mhm.
think that you would grab that. Um, are we including plants in in the pets thing?
Damn.
Because I would say your plants is
I
definitely
of course
another.
I definitely okay. If I could only save one,
Oh, if you could only save one, you'd save the first one.
yeah,
You'd save the first one, which I can't remember their name right now.
Valentina. Yeah,
Valentina. Okay, yeah.
like
You would save,
Valentine. Yeah,
if you could
Valentina.
only save one, you would save the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That's three things, right?
Yeah.
So I think you would also, I feel like you would also grab one of your plushies.
Yes, a
And
specific one in mind. Yeah,
um
I'd be so
oh,
sad if the other one's burned too, but a specific
yeah,
one.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think I know which specific one, but I'm
Uh
not
huh.
gonna out that plushie like that because I don't,
Yeah.
I don't want the rest of your plushies to get jealous. But I think we both know which plushie that
Yeah.
is for a
Yeah.
similar reason to my journal
Yeah.
reasons.
I would be, yes, I would be sad if the other one's burned too, like Rilakuma. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna be devastated. I'd be devastated, but I can replace Rilakuma. I can just buy him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
And I need, is it one more thing that I need? Or two?
yes, you got 4
Yeah.
right there. Yeah.
Oh God, what else would you? This is the hard one. I don't know.
Mhm.
I like, my brain almost wants to say that you would grab something. No, I was gonna say something fashion wise,
Mhm.
but I'm like, I don't know that you have a sentimental attachment to, you love your clothes, but I don't know if there's a piece of clothing that has such sentimental attachment that
Mhm.
you would grab it.
Mhm.
So then I'm trying to think of the other things that you have. I just thought of something that I would grab, but I'm like, no, you could replace that. Uh,
I thought of a couple of things, but I was like, technically she could replace them, so she'd be okay with them.
She's talking
Yeah.
about my toys, y'all. I'm out myself. You know, I'm a grown woman. She's talking about my toys. I could replace those, but I would be devastated.
Mhm.
I don't know what the fifth one is. What would the fifth one be? And am I all spot on at all with any of these?
Yeah, you are definitely with the I would grab my grandma's picture. I would. And then this is when she's talking about my little chain that I always wear. This was a gift from my grandma. So this I would absolutely grab this. If I wasn't already wearing it, but I would absolutely, of course, I'd grab it.
Oh, is the fifth thing a gift from your mom?
Trying to think if there's a specific gift that I would grab that was
Yeah, the
from her.
only reason I didn't think of the pictures of my mom was because she's still alive.
Yeah, because same.
So I could still
I
get
don't
things from
think there
her.
would. Yeah, I don't think there was a specific gift that my mom gave me. My mom has given me a lot of gifts. I don't know if there's a specific gift that I would
I'm
actually.
sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I tried to imagine you
Mhm.
grabbing. I know that you wouldn't grab this, but I
Uh-huh.
tried to imagine your little self grabbing your TV. And it just made me laugh so much, but you would
Definitely,
not grab it. You would not grab it.
definitely not. I'm not about to struggle to get no, not that. I think, but I'm trying to think of like would I grab something practical? I might actually grab. Actually, I would grab my phone. I'd grab my phone.
Oh,
I
duh.
really would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
actually, like, yeah, there's videos, sentimental videos on there. And I know it sounds so like, millennial to say I'm gonna grab the phone, but yeah, there's sentimental things on there, and whatever I need, whatever picture
Yeah.
gets burned
It's
is in
not,
here.
it's not so much, even for me, it's,
Hmm.
yes, it is the, okay, every time, because I've lost my phone many times, y'all,
Hmm.
unfortunately. And the devastation is never that I lost my phone.
Hmm.
Like I can replace it. The devastation is the things that I forgot to back up, the things that I didn't
Yeah.
get to back up yet. I once lost all of the pictures from my grandmother, my other grandmother's funeral, and I was devastated. I was devastated. Or
Yeah.
like, yeah, or even like the responsibility of work in here and
Hmm.
being like, I don't have those pictures anymore. Like I love pictures. I need to start printing more because I'm just like, this is some
Same.
bullshit.
Yeah, because same with my grandma's pictures. If I ever want to recover the pictures, they're in here. So I
I
need to
need
be
to
able to do that.
start
I think
backing them up.
the other last thing, because I know we talked about whether plants was as pets and everything. But the other thing I would grab, this is a simple one, but it's a makes a world of a difference. I'd grab my glasses. Bro,
Oh,
grab my glasses. I need to be able to
because you'd
see.
be so blind. You're right.
Yeah, I
That's
need to. Yeah,
practical.
I'd grab them. Yeah, that's why I definitely probably the two things that I would have next to me would definitely be glasses, phone. Grab them at the same time. Yeah, because that's what I'd grab because I need to be able to getting them. I mean, I can get them replaced, but damn, I don't want to, and I don't want to be able to drive or whatever it is that I need to do to get out of this house. Yeah, to be able to see. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that was
Okay.
pretty good. Should we do one more?
Yes, let's do one more. Let's see.
Mhm.
I was trying to decide between these two. Okay, I'll let you decide which question we answer. I
Okay.
might answer both anyway. One of them was what drives me crazy, or the other one was, where is it? Um, where the fuck did it go? Where is it? If, nope, nope. Okay. The other one, I'm trying to figure out a version of this that I'd like to use. The question itself is, if I could be an animal, which would I be?
Uh-huh.
But I almost want to rephrase that, if I could be anyone, who would I be?
That's hard. Yeah, okay.
So
Let's
maybe, do we want to do the animal version of that, or do we want to do,
Ooh, if it could be anyone. I don't know if there's
or
something
you could be anything. Okay, but maybe
okay, anything.
if you could be anything, and that means like
Yeah.
who you see yourself as.
Yes,
Who would you
okay.
be? What is your full adult self look like?
Oh,
What does
okay.
your full
That
adult
one?
self look like? Yeah.
Okay. Your full adult self looks like Daniela. Like it definitely looks like you right now, I'd say. This is what I think your full adult self would look like you right now, at least physically. Maybe the hair color will be different. The hair color probably would be different, or we don't know. The hair color for right now is just a question mark because we don't know what you would think in that time, or what you would like. So the hair color will be colored, but definitely another, like different. Yeah.
Some
So it'll
color.
be some color. Yeah. So it would be the hair, but the same, but a haircut. Yes, you'd have short hair like this. Let me see. You would be wearing something revealing but that you're comfortable in, something that is like, because I know you like to wear your outfits where you feel like a bad bitch, right? You'd be wearing a bad bitch outfit, but something that you're comfortable in too, and I mean, like, whatever that means, whatever the fits or whatever that means. And so I think that you'd wear something like that. What else? Who would your full adult self look like?
Yeah. And like, what would she be doing
What,
in
what
her
would she
life?
be doing?
In her
Oh,
life,
in her life,
what
yeah.
would
What
her
should be
life
doing?
look
Yeah.
like?
So her
At the
life would look like she would have that dance center open and running, and she would also have like some kind of center on the side that helps people out, like some sociology stuff. And what she would look like is she would run from this center, the sociology one, the stuff with the helping people out. She'd run from this one to the dance one, and then she'd like be all over the place. She'd be running between them and fixing things. And you would sometimes grace people with your presence. They'd be like, oh, this is Daniela, this is the creator of our dance center. And then you'd be like, oh, hi guys, I'm just checking out the class or whatever. Just you going in there to see what people are doing, not to micromanage, just because you genuinely like to see it. So I think you'd see the Center for the Arts. You'd probably pop in a couple of classes or things that are happening just to see what's happening. That would be you. And then what else would you do? You also would be super fulfilled as some like world-renowned dancer. Not only do you have your center, your centers for the arts, and also that other thing that I don't know what that would be, that other mission
like a
program.
nonprofit something.
Yeah, some kind of nonprofit, that kind of other thing you got going on. You're gonna have those too, but also I think you'd be like super world-renowned as like a dancer, or like really like, yeah, you'd have your dance career really flourishing and up there. And I think this is how I picture you in like your bad bitch outfit, but then I also picture you on some naturey shit. I picture you like, yeah, popping in between these places wearing some kind of naturey stuff, like some kind of thing, like you just came back from a hike or like a run or some kind of active thing. Yeah, that's what I picture you as in your a full adult self.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad about the one thing that I think you missed, because I
Yeah.
almost, when we started describing it, I was like, why do
Uh-huh.
I picture that? Like, I almost feel guilty about wanting this, but
Mhm.
maybe I shouldn't feel guilty about wanting this.
Mhm.
Okay, I want to state that the next thing I'm going to say,
Mhm.
it's not something I need to be happy
Uh-huh.
at all. It's not like my life's goal.
Uh-huh.
But I think that if life presents itself in this way, I'd
Mhm.
like to try again. I'd like to do this.
Oh,
I
to have a family.
I do picture myself married. I do
Yeah.
picture myself, because I would like to marry again. Like, that is, I don't need to though. I will say that. I
Yeah.
don't need to find someone to be happy. But if I meet someone, I'm not going to run away, like I
Yeah.
would like, I think I'd like to have it. And I'm always saying, like, I don't know if I want to have kids or not. But I think the truth is that I do know, and that I do definitely want to have kids. I am a very maternal person.
You are.
And that doesn't mean that that has to happen. Like, I don't have a time frame to that, because I'm also someone who is really passionate about adoption.
Mhm.
So I'm not closed off to the idea that maybe I'll have my kids later in my life or something like that. So I picture myself with a home. I
Mhm.
also picture myself traveling. I picture
Yeah.
myself as someone who travels, because I always really wanted to travel. I just haven't had the money to do so.
Mhm.
So
I like
yeah.
that. I definitely, well, the family one, that one definitely, I think it's because like I said, like in your list of goals, it's not a goal that's presently on like the table and stuff. So that's why I completely completely
It's not
forgot about
something
it.
I
Yeah.
focus my energy
And
on.
that and
It's
that's
just
why I
something
forgot it. Yeah.
that I would like
Yeah.
again, but it's not something I'm searching for per se. It's
I
not
think that's what it
something
is.
that
Yeah.
I need to be happy, but I think if I had it, I'd be happy about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If
I
it
think so too.
serves me, I'd be happy about it. But it's not something I'm like, I have to find a person,
Mhm.
So
Like I feel like
that
the
story, what you said is very accurate, but there's also an alternate version.
yes, I like it. No, I also like both versions too,
Also,
because you travel.
it also might look like not married and with kids, because I'm
Yeah.
also not confined to the idea of having a spouse being the reason why I have kids. I'm actually very open to, maybe I'm not going to get married again someday. Maybe that doesn't
Mhm.
happen for me. And maybe I'm going to adopt children, because I would
That's why
totally
I
do
said
that.
family. Yeah, to have a family,
Yeah.
because a family can be anything. Yeah.
Yeah. For you,
Mhm.
I think that you would already be graduated. All
Mhm.
of your school stuff would be done. I think you'd have your clinic. You'd
Mhm.
have, and it'd be something local, very community service,
Mhm.
for low income families, to be accessible to low income families. It would be
Yeah.
accessible to the Latinx community. There'd be, I think your focus is you want it to be like family therapy
Yeah.
type stuff. So you would definitely be doing that. I think that you would have helped your family buy a home.
Yeah.
You'd give your family a, why does that make me emotional? Yeah, I think that
So, in case y'all were wondering earlier, like what did she meant by empath? This is what she meant. What's happening now that she's talking about me?
yeah, I'm talking about you buying your family a home, and it's making me real.
That's hella funny.
My eyes are swelling with tears, dude. I think that you would buy your family a home. You
Mhm.
would buy them a home.
Yeah.
And I don't know that you would still be living at that home, or if you
Mhm.
would be married. I don't see you as someone who, because you're demisexual, it's not really
Mhm.
something that is so focused and centered on your life like the rest of us.
Mhm.
But maybe you maybe and I don't necessarily see you with a family, because I know
Yeah.
that's not something that you necessarily, it's not something that you as actively think about as, like, for example, me. It's not something that you
Yeah.
necessarily desire. I think for you that kind of comes along with its territory of demisexual. Like, you have to have the feeling
Uh-huh.
for someone to even consider that being something you want. So, but
Mhm.
maybe you will have met someone who, maybe you will, be with someone, married to someone who treats you right, who respects you, who is opening up this kind of side of your life to you, but not necessarily.
Mhm.
um, I think that you will have the pinkest of palaces in your home.
Yeah.
Your aesthetic will be ridiculous. Um, I don't know. For you, I just see you giving your parents the life you always wish that they could give you, is
Yeah.
what I see.
I think that was very accurate. 100%. I would buy my parents, my family a home. I really would secure that bag. I'd secure the bag for those who secured the bag for me. And so that 100% I would do that. And a whole community center for centered around like, helping the Latino community and having a accessible mental health for,
Ooh,
just
and a
Latino.
huge plant garden.
Yes, a huge plant. Yes, all my plants and still have my first plant. I would just
Mhm.
have its children
And
everywhere and
maybe
have
a cat and a dog,
maybe. Oh, yes, yes. What kind of dog?
a
I
little
always talk
dog,
about.
a Pomeranian.
Yeah, Pomeranian. I want a black Pomeranian so that way when it sheds, that my clothes are always black, so I don't
I feel
have to
like you
take
would
the hair
also
out
have
and
a
everything.
black cat.
Oh yes, that's a vibe. Or a
I
white
know.
one to
Yeah.
contrast the to
Yin
contrast
and
the
yang.
black Pomeranian. Yeah. Yin and Yang. Yeah. Oh my God, those are gonna be their names. Oh my God. Oh my God. And the Pomeranian, I always talk about. I'm gonna name my Pomeranian Waffles. It's gonna be named Waffles. But yeah, so I definitely would. Would I? Yes, I can talk about how would I like to be married. I would like to be, but if it doesn't happen in this lifetime, that's okay too. But I would like to be. I do picture myself with a spouse, a house spouse that I'm gonna do the work and they can be at home. No, I'm just kidding.
But
I'm
where's the
kidding.
lie at, though?
I
That
picture
we
myself.
want to be is where is the lie at that you and I have this goal to be the breadwinner? No queremos que nos
I
mantengan.
know.
What is the crazy goal that we're like, well, we could be married, but also if we're married, we want to be the
Yeah.
breadwinner.
Yeah. I don't want to have to be like, oh, I have to think twice before swiping this card. I don't want to think twice. Well, one thing you did miss, I don't know if I've talked about this before, is a clothing line. That's something that I definitely would want to have in my eventually in my adult life, have it figured out. It's not something that I actively work on, so I can see why again, like you didn't
I
think to
did
include
not.
that.
No.
But yeah.
I don't know if we've talked about this
Mhm.
before, because I like can't actually remember you saying. I'm not that surprised. Like, I'm not that surprised because you love clothes, but I didn't think that was that. You learn something every day. Something new every day.
Yeah, because I definitely would love to have like a clothing line, or that if, out of anything, not a makeup product, a clothing line. I would love to feel happy that people are wearing my designs, but I would never want that to be a primary source of income because the love that I have for clothing and fashion is not something that I would ever want to merge with my
Do
work life because I
you
feel like it would take that away.
do you know that
Mhm.
growing up I designed clothes? I
Ooh,
have
I think you said that.
sketchbooks. I have sketchbooks of clothes and I still sketch out costumes for dance. That's actually a secret passion
Yeah.
I have too. I really, really love designing.
And you did, I know you did your dresses too. I know you did a lot, you designed a lot of dresses. And so I think,
I
yeah, for
actually
me,
had
it
two of
definitely
them
would be.
made. I had two of my designs. No, 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 that's a lie. I've had three of my designs made, three or four of my design, four of my designs made. Two completely me from scratch, and two others with the help of a designer and just alterations and shit like that. But I've had a few of my dream costumes brought to life.
See, I love that. See, I've never have, but for me, it'd be more like streetwear. It wouldn't be dress or nothing like that, but it definitely would be things like, for me, I love jackets and stuff. I definitely think it would be things like statement jackets. I currently I'm working on customizing my jackets. I have a lot of jackets that I want to customize, and I realized I'd really like to customize things. It'd be great if I could just design them and they would already be made like this. And so that's what I would love to do, is have my own clothing line, maybe do something with shoes too, because I know I love shoes a lot. So I would love to do that, but as a side thing, not even something that's like a source of like, nothing that I care about as a source of income, because I would never want to merge that and have that kind of pressure for this to pay my bills. I feel like it would take the passion away. But I would love to have that. And then the other thing is this, yeah, this one I definitely only talk about here and there, is my art stuff. I would definitely love to do something with my art. I would definitely, whether that be music, whether that be having released some kind of project. I have always had this idea in my brain, because I used to do this when I was in 7th grade, is make little comics. I would love to make like a comic or something and put it out, and that'd be so fun. Or if not, I'd like to record something and have music out or something. Yeah, I want to do something with my art, regardless of whether that goes any direction, whether that's art, like in the physical, like art, drawing stuff, or in the music aspect. Yeah, I would love to do something with art in general.
Actually, I love that you said that because I totally forgot too. My adult self too would involve singing in it again. I miss
Yeah.
singing. I miss singing and I have been so out of touch with it, and I only recently got back into it and just like posting little, if you guys saw the last podcast, you guys got me singing on that podcast.
Yes,
I'm
I
kind
almost
of
forgot.
I haven't edited that one yet, so I'm like cringing at like it was okay. It was good. I'm very rusty. I'm very, very rusty. But I do want singing to be a part of my life again. I would love to get
Hmm.
more involved in that. I would love to do something with that. I like my voice, especially in Spanish. So I sometimes I think maybe I should do something with bachata. But I don't even
Oh.
know where to start. I don't even know where to start with that. Like, who do I reach out to? How do I do this? Like, but I also like really love singing like ballads and like things like that. I could never see myself singing wise as someone who like sings like power songs per se, because I mean I could, but like I don't know. I can't see myself. Well, I don't know. I would want singing to be a part of my life again in some way, whether that's musical theater, whether I've done something too, but like, and also
Yeah.
not as my main thing, as something I do for fun.
Yep. Same. Like, I
Mhm.
would love my art thing and like my fashion thing to be on the side. But yeah, that's what I
Oh,
thought. So yeah, I say those are the two
and
things. Mhm.
I think I would have liked to have written a book,
Oh
because
yes.
writing
That
books is
yes. I
something that
think
I
you would.
really want to do.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I love that. I think I definitely something that I wanted to do as well, because before the dream, as I joke about all the time about, before I was a psych major and before I thought of psychology as a career, I wanted to be a writer. And the writing went hand in hand with the comic stuff, because see, I used to write my comics and write the storyline, but then I stopped drawing. And I was like, well, I want to keep the writing aspect of it. So I would write stories and stuff. So yeah, I definitely would love to have written a book too, like a fiction book. I would have loved to written some fiction, and maybe some autobiography of me, because it's so successful. They're gonna be like, wow, who is this person so successful? They all want
Yeah.
to know my
I,
secrets.
I think that
Yeah.
my nonprofit would be involved with motivational speaking, because I've always been
Oh,
really,
yeah.
yeah, I've always been really good at like speeches and things like that, and it's something that I like to do, and I am comfortable sharing my stories about things. So I think I'd like to be in a place
Hmm.
where I can share my stories, and not for attention, although we said I like attention. I When it comes to my stories, the last thing I want, the only reason I want attention on those things is in hopes that it'll reach someone who needs to hear it, in hopes that somebody will hear it that is in a dark place, who maybe felt the way that I felt when I felt silenced, when I felt alone, when I felt like these things were my fault, when I felt like I should have known better, and let them know, hey, you're not alone. I didn't know better either. or I didn't know better either.
Mm.
But yeah, that is our friendship quiz. We'll probably do another one of these sometime in some other day because there's many questions we could ask, many questions we could ask. Today was friendship quiz / Galentine's Day / all of the things, all of the favorite topics, a very organic conversation today. Very organic, which is
It was. To this episode was Brat's twins. That's what it was. It was Brat's twins, our Galentine's Day, the meaning of friendship. This is another friendship one. I just realized full circle. Vidas Paralelas was one of our first friendship-ish ones that we did. And now we're coming back again to the friendship topic. Yeah, we love to talk about friendship, guys, because let me tell you, when you find such a meaningful, strong friendship in your life, you want to talk about it 24/7. I joke about that in my everyday life. I'm like, Daniela this, Daniela that, Daniela this. Guess what? Yeah, that's what it is.
My family thinks we're dating. My family is always like, have you told Jennifer yet? Have you told Jennifer yet? Oh, she's talking to Jennifer now. Because she's right. When you find a good friend, you know how they say when you find a good one, like love wise, hold on to them. When you find a good best friend, hold on to them. Hold on to them. You this feels so sappy to say, but you are one of the greatest loves of my life.
Oh my God, guys. So you heard it here. She's in love with me. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not. I'm actually half kidding. But honestly, yes, thank you. I'd say you are also, I don't know how I want to say the greatest love of my life, because I don't know how I don't know how to feel that emotion, to be honest. But I will say that I do love you very much, and that you told me a long time ago that I was in the palm of your hand. And yeah, you definitely are in the palm of my hand. And and again, this is why I talk about Daniela this, Daniela that. And again, probably my family thinks we're dating too. Probably. They probably think something is up in this realm. And we have this joke, me and Daniela, all the time, that we say, me and Daniela know what it is. And it's the truth. We really do know what it is. So yeah. And on that note, how is your chai doing?
Oh no.
Or did you even have chai? I never. You had chai? You were always so loyal.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, this is wifey material. So loyal.
I am very loyal, y'all.
I'm cheating. I have tea. I have tea today. So it's like I didn't even try to hide this. See, I'm like I'm not loyal, but I don't pretend to be. I couldn't even have the decency to tuck it behind here. No, I just clearly not chai. But yes, so you're all done. I saw you chug it.
Yeah.
This is empty. So that means the chais are done, and so is this chisme. Thank you so much for tuning in with us and listening to us talk all over the place. Like we said, it's a very organic conversation today, so we were all over the place. It's all right, guys, because this is what y'all follow for. You guys come for the chai but stay for the chisme. So yeah, we definitely had so much fun recording this one. Be sure to check out all the other ones we have up on our YouTube channel, Spotify, Anchor, whatever else we were on.
Yeah. And then make sure you like, share, subscribe to our channel. Turn on that notification bell so that you get notified every time that we put out. I sound like such a YouTuber. Turn on that notification bell so that you get notified every time we upload a video. We upload our podcast every Thursday at 10 a.m. It goes up on YouTube. It goes up on Anchor and other listening platforms. If you are on one of our listening platforms, if it has a rating, give us a rating. Anything, let's see, we have our Instagram. Make sure to follow that. All of those links are down below. Follow off. Also, I can't believe that this is going out the day before my birthday. I'm going to be 27. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it. I'll say thanks in advance for all the birthday love. Thanks in advance for all the birthday love. And I just want
comment down below and happy birthday.
Yay. I just want y'all to know that this is one of my favorite things that I started in my age of 26. It's WAF. And I'm so proud of it. And I'm so happy to be building this community with these babes. We're all supporting each other. I love it. Me and Bae secretly call you our waffles. Y'all are our waffles. Yes. So I'm very happy and proud to be a part of this community, to be doing this and to be filming these podcasts. We always jokingly say, even if it's just one other person listening to us, if anyone can take anything away from our conversations or just enjoying us having these conversations, we're so grateful. We have been receiving thanks and all of that kind of stuff. And I just want to say thank you for that. But that's a wrap. So ciao.
Yes. Salud.
Bye.
Bye.